Bugs crashing your pack's party? Whether they've got paws or sneakers, your pack deserves a home that's protected from pests. That's where Wondercide comes in. Plant-powered protection made with steam-distilled natural essential oils that actually work. It kills and repels fleas, ticks, mosquitoes, and ants without questionable ingredients or overpowering smells. Safe to use around kids and pets when used as directed. Lab-proven to work fast. And proudly made in the USA. We offer sprays for pets, people, homes, and yards. Plus, spot-on treatments, collars, and even shampoos. Whatever your pack needs, we've got it covered. Founded by a pet parent looking for a better way to protect her dog Luna, Wondercide's now protected over 21 million lives and counting. You might have even seen us on Shark Tank. Go to Wondercide.com and use code WONDER20 for 20% off your first order. That's WONDER20 at Wondercide.com. Wondercide. Protect your pack with plant-powered Wondercide today.
And I'm like, damn, that lady's really strong. But then I'm like, what is she on? Like, her knees are on something.
Fentanyl.
And I'm like, what the fuck is up with this? Yeah,
It's really dangerous.
It's like Popeye.
Yep.
She just smashes a can of fentanyl.
Jacob, I don't know how much you know about fentanyl. It's not really a performance enhancer.
I didn't say she was performing well.
From fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada, this is Pod Therapy. Real people, real problems, and real therapists. You can submit your questions anonymously at podtherapy.net or email us at podtherapyguys@gmail.com. And now broadcasting from the SJ and the Ruckus Koi Pond Studios. That's Jim. That's Whitney. I'm Nick. It's time for some Pod Therapy.
Oh my God. Welcome everybody to the episode that is airing the week of Scoopfest.
Scoopfest episode.
We are so excited. And for those of you who aren't going to make it this year, I just want you to know the things that are happening. So I'm really excied. I was looking at the
I have a costume
schedule.
this year.
Do you really for
He's gonna be
Jock versus
LARPing.
Nerd Ball?
Yes.
So I'm taking suggestions.
And I'll tell you, it was not my idea.
Is this Laura's idea?
No.
Fans?
Even worse.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Who's worse than Laura?
Smitty.
Oh no! You should never listen to
my
Smitty.
God.
That is a good answer.
Don't tell me anything more. I'm
Who's
super
worse than
excited
Laura?
for it.
Smitty.
Yes. Oh, this is gonna be great. So at the last, so I feel like I want to educate
you, Smitty.
the wider audience,
But you are worse than
because
Laura.
it's so much fun. The very end of Scoopfest is the Jock versus Nerd prom, right? Is that what we're
Ball.
calling it? Or ball? Yeah.
Jock versus
ball.
Nerd Ball.
And so it's a costume contest / just fun
Yeah, it's a
fucking
party.
live party, live band. SJ and the Are they playing this
They
year?
are.
Oh, it's so much fucking fun. So they're great. It's at
I'll
the
tell you what,
Orleans.
SJ and the Ruckus are playing this year. They turned down another gig that was a higher paying gig
Oh, wow.
to play Scoop Fest.
Wow.
And I was like, no.
You don't
Bad
know
idea.
what's that.
Y'all take the gig. Y'all take the gig that has the money.
Yeah.
There are other bands in town. We will find it because this is several months ago. This wasn't like this week.
Right.
I was like, we will find another band. Not a big deal. And she was like, I'll just leave it up to the guys. I'll leave it up
Okay.
to the band. Let the
Yeah.
band vote on it.
Where do they want to play?
They were like, she was like, oh, the band just wants to come play Scoop Fest.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
That's awesome.
The band
It's
is like,
such a
no, we're
good
playing
time.
Scoop Fest.
Oh, yeah, dude.
So yeah, we're playing.
That-
they'll play
I'm
that.
0% shocked by that because
No.
Scoopfest is so much fucking fun. And they get worshipped and just treated like a great time. That is so much fun. So the end of Scoopfest is this costume contest that we call the Jock versus Nerd Ball. And everybody just dresses up. We have people that dress up. Most of the 99% of the themes are related to Ice Cream Social, as it should be.
Of
It's
course.
your party.
Yes.
But every year there are several that are related to Pod Therapy in some
course.
way. Last year we had Whitney's Ducks.
I know.
Yeah, that was a good one.
So cute. Oh, I
was a
miss
solid
my
one.
ducks.
Sammy Scoop showed up as
Sammy.
Whitney's Ducks. That was
Yep.
really, really cute.
So
So
cute.
there's always a few little references to Pod Therapy.
Oh no, Pod Therapy is part of the Ice Cream Social. Like we're in the same
We're in the
universe.
orbit?
Yeah, you were in the same universe.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
we're
consider
all
us
in the same universe. Yeah, I feel like showing up in a universe costume is
It
perfectly
counts.
reasonable.
Yes.
So another thing was 2 years ago was Jim's Batmom. Remember
Oh,
that? There were-
yeah. I heard about
was a
that. That's
really
so
I'm
good
wearing
one.
my Jim's Batmom
You are
tank top
the
right
Jim's
now.
mom
Oh
tank
my
top.
gosh, that's
Yeah,
amazing.
which is one of my regular work shirts though.
Oh, that's good. That's your sweating shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, the podtherapybaitshop.com store is going to be closing soon. We've kept it open for Scoopfest. It is available. So if you want any Pod Therapy merch, now's your shot.
No, it's past your shot.
Yeah.
It's not going to show up by Scoopfest.
Oh, it will still be closed.
Well, this
Okay.
goes out Wednesday.
Thursday for the regular audience.
Which is
Yeah,
when Scoop Fest
when's
is happening.
Scoopfest?
Oh no, I'm just saying if the general audience wants to buy anything from
the general audience.
shop,
You're moving on
yeah,
from
yeah,
Scoopfest.
Yeah,
Okay,
right.
great.
It's only going to be available. We kept it open until Scoopfest, so we haven't.
Yes.
We're not closing
It's
it the
for
minute of Scoopfest.
but this is when it is still open.
This is
So
it.
far, we have not sold anything in 2025.
Excellent.
shit.
We're doing exactly as good as I expected us to do.
I gotta go
And
buy
that's
some
not.
stuff.
This is not pity. Please,
Yeah. No,
please,
no,
please, don't buy anything.
Shit about your pity. Yeah, no.
Honestly, I'm keeping it open because I need to do another round of Mental Fit T-shirts.
That's right. You're just
for myself.
Okay,
For
good.
myself, because that's where I print my own shirts.
Yeah, no. As
And
you
this
should.
is
Good.
this
I'm
is
glad
why
you're
you
using
need
it.
to switch over and do the other one, because then it's free. You don't have to, because you guys pay for the store.
Yes.
Which is why you're closing it.
Yeah, it's costing
This
us
is
money.
the inside baseball side
Yeah.
of this.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
store
yeah.
costs you money.
Yeah.
My store doesn't cost me money. You guys can just do that. It's
Yeah.
free, and then
Yeah.
you could still use it
good
as
point.
like your personal
Let's
printing.
close the store
Yeah,
and then
that's
open
true.
it again in Jacob's shop.
No, not in my shop, but it's like the same service.
You know what?
Or a
You
service
just
like
make
that.
an offer and then you just take it away. You know, I'm sick of this shit.
Fine, I'll sell fucking Pod Therapy shirts.
Yeah,
Cool. All right. Awesome.
that totally works for
I'm
us.
back in.
Keep the proceeds. I don't care. I'm just really happy
Great.
when I see people with the shirts.
I mean, I will put Pod Therapy shirts on Hey
Yay.
Scoop's shop store.
It
Like,
works for me. So Scoopfest is coming up. It's going to be a really fun time. If you, as you're hearing this episode on Wednesday or Thursday, Scoopfest will have just been getting kicked off. It kind of kicks off Wednesday night with an improv comedy show
Yep.
in downtown Las Vegas. Really, really fun.
Are y'all going to those?
Oh, fuck yeah. The Bucket
Which
Show.
one? The
Have you ever been to a
7 or
Bucket
9?
Show?
Yeah, I went.
I'll go
last
to both.
time.
So much fun. So much fun. It's a great time.
I have the night off, so I'm,
Oh, do
I'm
you?
gonna
We're
be
going.
there.
Yeah, I'm going to
I'm
be
gonna
there.
be there,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. So I'll be
What a
there.
lot of people will do is either hang out in the air. Like there will people
Okay.
there will be
There's
people
a bar.
hang out in the area.
Yeah.
During both shows.
Yeah.
Okay.
People who aren't seeing the show, like they'll be at
So
those
there's
bars.
going to be
and
two
everything.
shows, and so when crowd one is in show one,
Yeah.
everybody else is hanging out at the bar next door.
Do I need to buy tickets right now?
No, it's
There
a
aren't
bucket
tickets.
show.
No,
you
you
just
throw money in a bucket at the end of the
It
show.
just fills up when it fills up, and there's
yeah,
no
you just
seats.
put whatever amount of money you
Correct.
want to.
I guess I'm asking about space, not money.
Oh, just hang out with me. I'm a VIP.
Okay.
You'll just be in. Whitney, we're a big deal
I know
now.
who to go to. It's not Jim, Jacob.
They make
Jacob.
space for us. Okay, we don't
Jacob,
buy our own
remember me?
drinks because we order
You sit
tap
on your
water.
couch every
It's fine.
Sunday night.
But yeah, so Wednesday night is an improv comedy show, and then Thursday, Scoopfest officially kicks off over at the Orleans. I am going to be officiating a wedding that day.
All right.
So I will not be joining you. Then Friday, we have a whole day of trivia contests where this year Pod Therapy is competing against ICS. We finally got our shot at the crown.
Bring it.
Take
Excited.
down the old men. It's about fucking time. We
I can't
played this
wait.
undercard match against Morning Murders forever.
The belt will not be on the line.
I assume that. I actually thought that we should. So, whenever I noticed that we were against you guys,
I need
definitely
someone
make
to
your
bring
own
a belt.
yeah,
I
yeah,
feel
yeah.
like I
So
want
I was
someone
trying
to
to
bring
come
a
up
belt.
with a fun trophy. I called an award shop to see if they would 3D print an award of Jacob, and
well,
My
the
neighbor
fight
has
was
a
going to
3D
be for
printer.
Jacob.
I mean,
Who
hold
gets
on though.
Jacob?
We don't need to do that because Jacob informed me in the pre-show that we actually have 5 trophies available.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
That
yeah,
we
yeah.
could play
we'll just
for.
keep competing
Oh, is
for
that
my
right?
best of Las
Yes.
Vegas trophies.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a great
Yes.
idea. Yeah,
Put them all on the line.
That's right.
0%
Our
chance I'm
best of
doing
Las
that.
Vegas trophies versus yours.
Yeah, that's right. They have a few too.
and here's the thing. I don't care.
Yeah. I don't trust you to fight.
Because
I don't trust you. I think you fucking
Nick
throw
will
the fight.
actually sabotage.
Yeah, exactly.
your shit.
0%.
I just want a good show.
Yeah, that's right. It's fun entertaining.
I just want people to have fun.
So Friday is going to be this really fun trivia contest and a lot of great entertainment, live variety shows. It's a great time. And then Saturday, more of that, deeper dives into some really great podcasts that are going to show up and entertain. And then it's just really fun. And then afterward, we
It's
all
gonna be
hang
a
out at the
blast.
bar. It's a great, great time.
We often do. We will at least record the trivia stuff, and we usually publish the trivia stuff. We never.
Oh, yeah.
We never promise that we're going to publish the trivia stuff because it is a live event, and,
Yeah.
and who
Yeah.
knows. But we will probably
so
publish
far,
the trivia
every
stuff.
year that we've been on it, you always send me the audio.
Oh, yeah,
and then
we
pump it.
always publish it.
So
Yeah.
if you are not part of our patreon.com/therapy, I really encourage jumping in there. Get in on the Patreon because
It's a good one.
Well, honestly, just for a month, do it. Even if you're like, fuck this show, I just tune in out of boredom.
If you're only signing in for a month, it only costs you $10.
this is the month. Yeah, this is the month.
It
Do
costs you $10 to sign in for the month.
Do
Who
it.
cares? It gets you in there. I
Yeah.
bet you'll find something that you like.
You're gonna have fun with it
Throw
because
$10 at it.
this
It's no
month
problem.
we are going to be releasing our trivia battle against ICS. We might even release some bonus content of other people's trivia battles because it's a fun fucking time if we're part of it. We'll make sure we pump it through. And then we'll also be trying to like broadcast live and just doing things through our social media. Everything always pumps through our Patreon. So check it out. It's going to be a really good time. Even if you cannot make it, obviously, to Scoopfest, we want to pipe you in. We want you to be part of it. One of the big reasons we started this show and have been a part of it for so long is the human connection. For us, it's not about the multi-millions of dollars we rake in every single week. It's really about the people. And so this is our chance to be a part of that. So check it out. Patreon.com/therapy. If you guys are live streaming anything that's related to that's related to Scoopfest, is your Twitch going to carry that? Where would they find that?
If we stream anything, it'll be on our Twitch, which is thebucketshow.com.
Okay, copy that. So check it out.
Thebucketshow.com. But it'll also be on our YouTube and all that kind of stuff.
It's going to be a fun time.
We don't do a whole lot of video live streaming though.
Yeah.
It gets weird live streaming from live events.
Yeah. Because you're not able to interact with the online audience.
Yeah.
There's such a big live
it's
audience.
that, and like there's stuff happening that is in context of things that are happening
can't
live,
see it.
and you lose the context.
The event. So it's going to be a really fun time. We're really excited for it. But check it out. Patreon.com/therapy.
Why
we will try
Jim
to
yelling that racial slur over and over again? I don't know.
Who
There
knows?
was probably context.
You should have been here for it.
It was behind
Now,
the camera.
Who knows?
I'm sure
It's
there's
all
a good
behind
reason.
the scenes.
There's not.
There's always a
There's
good
not,
reason
and
for
there's
it.
it's never
The content
in context.
is racism.
Yeah.
Pure racism.
Rearing its ugly head, and I'm trying to fight it by participating in it. Because anything that I'm a part of usually fails, and this is me. This is me sacrificing.
There you go.
We got some great questions for this very special Scoopfest week episode, and we're starting off the lineup with
I know we got a lot of just like laughers, and we're gonna have a good time with all the questions today. It's nothing too serious.
No.
Yeah,
No.
don't worry about it.
Nope.
It's all a good time.
No, it's going to be a nice, easy sailing show.
Yeah.
Nothing
Keep
to
it
worry
nice
about.
and 1 foot
The
deep.
one
on.
thing that I know about one of the questions
It's gonna be real
Don't worry
lighthearted.
about it.
seems horrible.
It's going to be great. First question leading off the order today is over attachment issues
Oh,
from
no, this isn't
our pal Molly. No, it's coming up
Hey,
later.
Molly.
Hey, Jim, Nick, Jacob, and Whitney, and most important, the intern in the broom closet.
Oh, hello.
You get your ass back in there! You do not come out!
Hello.
No! Why are you in Jacob's house?
No, she said-
Jesus Christ!
she said hello to
No,
me.
you get your ass back in there!
I just wanted to say
back
hello
in the closet!
Did she help with the deck?
My name is Molly. I'm a 26-year-old female.
I help with the deck.
No, get your ass back in the closet! I've been in therapy for 5 years. I'm dealing with depression, anxiety, and complex PTSD. I'm going through a particularly difficult time with depression and got to second base for the first time in my life this past month. I wrote down how my effects would be split and signed my name. However, I'm back on the straight and narrow and doing my best to fight back. My problem is emotional regulation and creating strong and involuntary emotional attachments. I work in a male-dominated industry. My cycle is this. I'm paired to work with an older man who is my boss and in a mentor position. I'm the apprentice, and within a month or two, I start to overattach to them. One of the signals this is happening is that I write a poem about them, haha, or I type and video journal to offload the emotions, which are overwhelmingly good in the beginning. My thoughts turn to them at all hours of the day. I replay moments from work, ponder their personalities, good and bad, or extrapolate on little information they've given me about their personal lives. My priority at this stage is to go to work so I can see them again. I replay my mistakes I've made and agonize about having disappointed them. I want them to leave my life, which is an eventual reality, as the different jobs always end, and we travel on to the next one. I don't necessarily put these men on a pedestal anymore, but since I feel flooded with dopamine just being around them, it definitely colors the world rosy. I feel alive, motivated, and social. I'm attracted to their kindness, humor, quirkiness, teaching ability, music sharing, vulnerability, and storytelling about their lives. And if they're easily frustrated, I feel compelled to do what I can to help. There may be a flickering sexual element that accompanies all this, but if I focus on those thoughts, the reality of it quickly unravels any sexual interest. At this stage, a great
Just
amount
a flickering of the bean, if you will.
Chicago. At this stage, a great amount of energy is put into maintaining boundaries. I don't get too personal and try not to overstep. We're working side by side, though, and I love making people laugh and trying to connect on some level. However, I'm trying to prove to this person that I don't want to break up their marriage or cause them any trouble. I'm trying to experience this joy in a measured way, which can be difficult when it feels like pure sunshine being around this person. If I'm dysregulated that day, the tightrope between anxiety, joy, and sadness is exhausting. If I feel I'm making them uncomfortable, I begin pushing away. I get dysregulated and begin to ruminate. Well, my coworkers eventually pick up on my attentive listening and giggling behavior, then subsequent emotional turbulence. I wear it all on my sleeve, as I always have. The reactions usually begin with disbelief, confusion, and fear, and shift to them pulling away. These people are all fathers with adult children. Their uncomfortable reactions to my emotional state sends me into a shame spiral, and I get super anxious around them and overthink every interaction, which exacerbates the whole ordeal. The second piece of this cycle is that these men talk to their other coworkers all the way through the grapevine until a majority of the crew is aware of what's happening, and it begins to feel like a joke that I'm not in on. I wish it were a joke. That job grapevine translates to a larger grapevine of mutual people who know me, or whoever I fixated on, within my organization or, quote, small town, where gossip travels fast. My mood feels tied to their reactions of me, and I feel sometimes angry at their judgments, or otherwise internalize my sadness and blame myself for feeling these things. Even after the job's end, I may be spinning my wheels for months. My longest stretch of rumination and yearning was 2 years. Do they make a medication for this? I'll take any 2 cents that you have. Please advise, and thank you to your intern for doing God's work. Molly, you get your ass back in that box. Never come out of the closet.
She wrote me a letter.
So this is okay. Whitney, I am going to be so fascinated in your take on this because there is a stereotype, a trope. And there's tropes about all genders, right? There's tropes about all things. But the trope is that, and obviously it's not extremely common, but there is a trope where, okay, the woman is connected to, sometimes attracted to, but interested in and like emotionally desiring of the elder guy's approval somehow. And this writer kind of puts some skin and bones on that experience and kind of shares like, yes, it is kind of like a fatherly dynamic. I kind of like this guy. I think he's charming. I kind of dig that he's a little bit in authority and a little bit older than me. And like, no, it isn't necessarily sexual for the writer. They're just like, I can't help it. Like, I'm just enamored with this person. And it kind of starts off really innocent. But then I start to show, I have all these tells where like I can't help myself. I'm clearly enamored with them. And then it makes it awkward and it's weird for everybody. So this is an interesting dynamic, right? I feel like it's a dynamic that men and women could relate to. But I think the trope is that a lot of women will talk about this. Like you obviously work with a lot of women in therapy. Is this overblown? Is this something that like society thinks happens way more often than it does? Or is this something that's like, it does happen, and it's like there's a reason for this?
Yeah, I think it doesn't happen as much as like society would like to think.
The porn that I watch is it says it almost happens every other video. I mean, it seems really common.
Like this letter aside,
Okay.
This is something that I think older men
Want to be true.
Does it happen more?
I think it's something that they think happens.
More frequently or less frequently than getting stuck under the coffee table or
in a
The washing
dishwashing
machine again.
Yeah.
That old thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Because that happens
Depends
a lot.
on you if you work with plumbers or
Right.
Yeah.
you know. Are you their apprentice? So, this was the word I was looking for. Okay. So I think that things that stuck out to me here, there's a few different things. I mean, the obvious route I would want to ask about is just like, what was your childhood like? You know, like what's going on with like male figures in your life in general?
What would your hypotheses be if you had a female patient that came in with this kind of a story and said, look, you're just meeting me for the first time. in my industry, there are a lot of elder guys that tend to be in authority positions. My role tends to have me cycle through and pair with those guys as part of their squad for a while. And when that happens, I develop like definitely a disproportionate amount of attachment than the situation really should. Like it's beyond professional. I'm enamored with them.
Yeah.
I feel really personally aligned with them. I kind of get obsessive over them. What would your hypotheses be about a female who told you that, about her history?
Yeah, I think the fact that they mentioned that it's happening with a certain age of and gender, obviously, but like age and gender, that's what leads me kind of down that path to want to ask questions about what their childhood or what their upbringing was like, or who were the impactful people in their lives or who was not there. So, I mean, that usually goes toward like father figures or, you know, was your parent around, your father figure
Would
around,
you assume
like,
an absence? Is that usually the guess?
It could be absence. It could be just that they were there and not giving attention, you know,
Emotional
they were busy.
absence.
Yeah, emotional absence, I guess, is what that would be. So that's one thought. I know it seems really cliche, but I would be curious. That's probably the first route I would go down. Like we want to kind of like work with what we think is not obvious, but you know, go down that route first. The second thing that kind of came to mind, I started thinking about this term, and I don't think it fully fits this, but like demisexual.
Oh, yeah. What is that?
It's usually when you start feeling attraction toward, the only way you feel sexual attraction is somebody that you're friends with. Like you have to have that, that you wouldn't do well with one night stands. You aren't like, yeah, I just want to go have sex with somebody because I'm turned on right now.
Right.
It's like
emotional connection
you know,
first.
yeah, I'm not really turned on, even if you're a super hot person, like that just doesn't matter to me. If we're not clicking, if we're not like connected emotionally, then I'm not turned on by you. So it's not going to happen. So I kind of wondered about that listening to this. It's somebody that they're spending a lot of time with, I'm guessing, if they are a mentor position. Like, I mean, I don't know, in the work environment, you're around these people like 8 hours a day. And if you're working in person at a normal job, you're around these people a lot. And so I think there's that natural buildup of like a friendship or like emotionally connecting to someone. You're going to share about your family a little bit. You're going to share about your hobbies or whatever. And you kind of get to know the person just in general. And if you naturally are kind of a demisexual type of person, then that could be what's happening here. Now, the thing that I'm like unsure about is they said it doesn't always really express as sexual. They're like, I mean, yeah, I think that, but like it's not 100%.
Little flickers of it, but then it's like it kind of quickly dissipates.
So my last and third thing that came to mind, I had to look up the word because I was blanking on it, but this is something I've actually had 2 clients who were not female, not assigned birth at female, I should say, or assigned female at birth. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
So,
nope, assigned birth at female.
Did I say that? Birth at female?
Yeah.
I was like, but both of them are younger too, like this person's age or younger, and both of them expressed forms of like limerence. Have you heard this term?
Oh, yes. Unpack this.
Yes. Okay. So
This
I'll
word
be
does
honest,
not get used enough.
No, I agree. And the first time I heard this in session, I felt stupid because I was like, I don't know what this fucking
I don't
word
remember
is.
learning it in grad school either.
I was like,
Kind of how
me?
I'm feeling now.
Yeah, you're like, oh,
Okay, thank
I
you.
currently don't remember learning about this in grad school.
yeah.
Or your doctor.
When I first heard it, I was like, these are like rhymes that start with the same letter or something, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think I know these.
Yeah, so
I once was a therapist from Nantucket.
and this is probably me being a bad therapist, but I did not tell them I did not know what this was. I
Good
kind of
job.
like went through it,
Yeah.
got
Always
a little
confidently
context.
nod and go,
I'm like, oh,
yes. I know exactly where you're going with this.
So anyway, afterwards I Googled, and that was very helpful for future sessions, but it's an involuntary state of obsessive, passionate, and idealized romantic desire for another person.
Wow.
Characterized by intrusive thoughts, a longing for reciprocation, and a strong emotional dependency on the other's perceived feelings for them.
Nick.
So unlike love, it's based...
Are you saying you have that for me?
No.
Well, we all know that. Like, I
Why
thought that
are you
was
acting
assumed.
weird?
You just
You're
threw my
just
name
so-
out there just very quickly.
Nick,
I'm trying to
and he
figure out
gazes
where
into your
I
eyes.
I feel like you don't respond to the poetry that I send you, and I don't know if you see it, you know, because like I write it.
I don't like
and
haikus.
Okay.
We've already
limerick.
established that Nick does not do well with emails.
Yeah. Well, I mean, these
He's
are
not responding.
I write them on cards and I mail them. So.
But I love this last part. It says, unlike love, it is based on uncertainty, and individuals may neglect their own lives to focus on the person of their affection, known as the limerent object. Anyway, so
But that's
interesting.
still, so what? How is that different than love?
Because it's an obsession with somebody who doesn't have any connection to you. The uncertainty of the connection fuels your obsession with that person. Yeah, so it's much closer to like obsession.
Sorry, that just describes everyone I've been in love with.
Right. Yeah. You're doing
Who
it right.
doesn't love me
No,
back?
take no notes.
Laura,
Yeah, this is
are
fine.
you
This is fine.
listening?
This is just normal.
Yeah,
You
it's
like
great.
me?
You like me, right?
This is going really well,
I
right?
need more validation.
I wasn't going to say obsession, but I was going to mention that these people seem to be occupying a lot of real estate
Yes.
in the writer's mind.
Yeah.
And how often does it happen when you have someone occupying all that space in your mind that, like, after a while, you start thinking about sex a little bit, and since that person's already in your mind, like, now I'm thinking about sex with that person.
Sure.
So,
Yeah.
okay, so follow-up question here. So the limerence thing. So are you saying that for the writer, if, let's just say, one of these men
Yeah.
starts to reciprocate, would that mean that Molly then would just kind of fizzle out? Like it would just kind of
I
go
wonder
away?
what would happen.
Or is it if you
Molly
give a mouse a
kinda
cookie?
Yeah.
I don't know the answer to that.
Well,
I've seen it go
damn
both
it,
ways.
Whitney.
I know.
Yeah.
Why am I even here? I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, so I've had cases like
know
this.
the word a second ago, Nick.
I just looked at
She just admitted to being a really bad therapist, and now you're just rubbing her nose in it. You're
Thanks.
kind of a dick. So, like, I have had patients over the years who have had very similar experiences of Molly, men and women, you know, to point that out.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's interesting because I've definitely had cases where that hypothesis has been tested, Nick, where they've developed, like, they tend to be more attracted to a mentor kind of type guy. And it's interesting because I think part of the chemistry, part of the attraction is that they do feel safe with that guy, that he's trying on the clothes of mentor. Right. And so he takes this position of sort of.
There is some caring involved usually. It's
Yeah.
like the mentor cares about your
Right.
well-being. These would be like their friends who like were with other people sometimes, but they just spend a lot of time with them and they're like, oh, do I, I'm just thinking about
the
them all
mentor
the time.
seems to care for you. You owe that mentor some amount of immediate deference of like, you're
Keep
not just a
hearing you
nobody.
say to mentor.
Yeah. It's really close to that. And so like you're trying to like impress this person. You care about this person. They seem to care about you. And so they get all this extra like capital in your relationship immediately.
Right.
Just because
Yeah.
of their posture and their position. But then the person, in cases that I've had this, they've often told me like, I'm kind of attracted to this person in some ways, maybe because they are not immediately obtainable. It's not this person who's actually an option.
I feel like
Right.
if they did reciprocate, there
It
would be a loss
fizzles
of,
away. And so like I've had this situation where the man or woman in this situation will signal, you know, that giggling kind of
While you're in
effervescent
session with
affection. Other people kind of pick up on it. They're like, hey, I think this mentee is kind of into you. And mentor, for whatever reason, is like, oh, I really do like this person. That would be neat if there was a connection. And so they may pursue it a little bit. And then the person in Molly's position oftentimes, not always, but oftentimes immediately loses interest and almost becomes hurt and is like, I can't believe you would be predatory at me. That changes my views of you. I thought you were this upstanding, noble guy. I had infused all this blank slate kind of energy.
Well, you don't even have to go through all of that. You can just say, like, I had a mental image of
it was
what our
idealized.
relationship was.
Yes, it was idealized.
And now you are executing something that's not wasn't
not the
what my
deal.
intention was, but sometimes it can look kind of similar. You know,
Right.
if you're kind of giggling to yourself, and I say this from my own experience too. If you're kind of giggling to yourself, if you're having fun, if you're being flirty, if whatever,
You are kind of a giggly flirter.
and then people turn and you go like, oh
with,
shit,
with Nick.
yeah.
right.
In general, no.
Everybody is with
Jacob
me.
is a giggly flirt everywhere.
Very
Okay.
much so.
You see him at the gas
you
station.
are wearing that, Mom.
Yeah, yeah. He's always tee-heeing, you know, just making conversation with other dudes at the next pump at the gas
Yep.
station. Just always with his tee-hees. So yeah, it's a fascinating dynamic.
Isn't it?
And I
Like,
think that
this
we're
is
like looking
really
alongside
interesting.
this, Molly, and just appreciating you are not alone.
Yeah.
It is a bit of a common, theme that we've seen in a lot of people's lives.
Oh, I just remembered. We should do we need to go back and revisit the second base thing?
I thought about that too,
thank you
like
for
for
bringing
new
that up.
listeners.
we need to tell listeners what
We have
that
new
is.
listeners,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah, I'll do it really quick. So
Yeah.
in the history of the show, we use the metaphor of the baseball diamond to help kind of visually capture the concept of suicide danger. And so we talk about first base being very, very common, where people just have the idea of like, oh man, I might want to end my life. What's the point of being alive? And that therapists don't necessarily try to intervene at first base. It's super duper common. And second base is where people start to get serious about it. And they start to say, you know what, here's the method. Here's how
Right.
I would end my life. And that kind of sounds practical. It's not like a dragon would eat me. It's like, actually, here's a real way that I would end my life. And that's not make believe.
Yeah.
And even therapists can handle that too.
It's the type of thing like like I have access to these pills.
Right.
And if I
Here's the
if I
method.
ate all these pills, that would be my
Here's
method.
this reasonable way that I
Yeah.
would actually hurt myself. And when therapists hear that, our ears kind of pop up. That's when we're starting to be like, okay, now we're leaning forward in our chair a little bit. We're starting to get a little bit closer to wanting to intervene on that.
Right.
Third base is where it starts to get really practical. That's the method. That's the how. That's the when. That's the why. That's when a person starts
got the plan.
really getting serious. Yeah, they're planning it. And then stealing home is whenever they're getting to the point where, yeah, this is all coming together. It may turn into a real action plan. This is becoming real in the world. So we use that metaphor in the history of the show. And so when the writer says, I've caught myself kind of at second base, they're saying, hey, this has caused me so much distress. I know we're talking about infatuation. I know we're talking about limerence. I know we're talking about, I have this crush on mentors. And I don't want the host to get too distracted by that into thinking this is some innocent, benign thing.
Right.
Because I've gotten to second base on the suicidal diamond here, where I've thought, man, I'm so discouraged by this that maybe I could imagine hurting myself.
Right.
So we want to take that seriously, even as we're normalizing it. I think is what Whitney and I were starting with, is normalizing how common this is. We do want to also take this seriously and meet Molly where she's at, where she's asking these honest questions of like, hey, do y'all have any feedback, any advice on this? What does a person do when they're having this kind of like emotional connection to these kinds of issues?
Yeah, I mean, I think.
Well, that's all the time we have.
Yeah, thanks
I know.
anyway, Molly.
Mwah,
Good luck.
Crickets. I know. It's like, what do you do with those feelings that feel so big that you can't control them? And I mean, it's interfering with your work. I don't love that for you.
Did
Like,
Molly say how old she is?
26.
Okay.
Molly said she is a hot, supple 19-year-old. That's what
That's
Okay.
a weird thing for somebody to say.
video that I've seen.
In both cases.
She used the word
but
supple.
that was a nice clean drop, though.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If we want to timestamp that.
No! Shit! Right in time for Scoop Fest. That is
yeah.
definitely going to be on people's phones.
That'll
Oh,
get
yeah.
some airtime.
Oh,
Great.
yeah.
So, but do you think I realize that these two issues correlate,
Yeah.
but could the depression be standalone as well?
Oh, sure.
I mean, that,
That's what
she's,
I kind of wonder.
yeah, that this is something that maybe she, this is a diagnosable
Right.
condition, that she's, major depressive disorder or something like that.
Well,
But then
I
it's
bet an answer
also-
popped into Molly's head immediately. A yes or no answer.
Sure.
As soon as you said it, I bet
Yeah.
she's like
Yeah.
either
And then
no
this-
or yeah, there is.
Yeah, and this just adds to it.
Exactly.
Just
Yeah, sure.
you bring up a
exacerbates
really
it.
good point, too, because this could be a form of self-medicating, because Molly talks throughout her story of emotional dysregulation, right? And constantly refers to, I become emotionally dysregulated, but I get this stabilizing dopamine hit of affirmation
Yeah.
and value.
Like sunshine and rainbows.
Right,
Yeah.
from my connection to
Yeah.
the mentor. And so I start obsessing over them, seeking them out, wanting to connect with them, really becoming enamored with all their little, like, unique qualities,
'Cause
right?
That's fun. Like, that is
Right. Of
exciting.
course.
Like
Yeah.
any kind of new relationship, or when you meet
Yeah.
somebody and you kind of start to click with somebody and you're like,
Right.
oh my God, this could develop into something.
very exciting,
And
yeah.
and then, because I can kind of relate to this to some degree. I remember back, in my early dating days, meeting someone and then
Before he got engaged.
having,
Yeah,
Before he
so-
got
Just a few
bored.
weeks
yeah, let's
ago.
set that record.
Yeah. A lot of dating.
Not
up to a few
earlier
weeks
this
ago.
week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've settled down within
Yeah.
the last couple days. No, but that is exciting. You meet somebody and then you have a really good date. It goes really well. You're talking back and forth. There's kind of this excitement, but there's also kind of this thing that like when it happens too fast, it gets, I don't know how to describe it, but like too real and too like, oh, I was really thinking, like I was really enjoying the excitement and the get to know you phase. And now I feel like I know everything about you. Already.
Right.
You know, now it's like, oh, the hunt feels like it's kind of over.
Interesting.
The hunt.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like that happens a lot with people who are fresh out of relationships.
Okay.
That checks out.
Yeah.
Based on what you've heard, right, Nick? Right. You've heard from other people.
Yeah.
Yeah. It makes sense.
Yeah.
No, but I think, Nick, you're bringing up something I think that's actually really philosophically profound. Like the dynamic that we often get into with the mentor-mentee relationship, and I can relate to this, you know, from the other side of it,
That's
right?
the
To
only
be a
other
mentor.
thing. You have an intern. That was the other thing.
I do have an intern, but like there is
one of two things
I can
on the 40 by
see,
40.
Mr. Jim is my mentor.
Get your ass back in the closet. I will tell you when you come out. So like
it's not exciting anymore.
I can appreciate this is not as fun as you said it was going to be. You stay in the closet. So I
I
can
live at Jacob's house now.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
That's
I
fine.
stay.
That's
No,
fine.
I stay.
This is my closet.
You can stay in Jacob's house. That's fine. You help out with
Wait,
Scoop
what?
Fest.
No, I stay here. I stay here. No, I didn't say you could do that.
Jacob, don't forget to feed her. She needs food several times.
Can't take care of an intern.
Well, no, you're just gonna have to
Dr. Jacob.
very little trouble.
put her to work for Scoop Fest. She can help fix your deck. She's really useful, very handy. No, but like I appreciate how complex this dynamic can be. Like, and especially the thing we tend to hear more of in society is the empowered male, the mentor figure overstepping, right? And we've all heard that
Taking
story.
advantage.
Yes, taking advantage, overstepping, creeping out the other person.
Yeah.
And misperceiving the dynamic and believing that there was a connection that there wasn't, and then getting egg all over their face and it's a big mess. I
is
can
that what that
appreciate
is?
that. It's usually
like,
egg. Yeah, it's egg whites.
Egg whites.
Yeah, that's what that is.
Huh.
Yeah. So
It's a whole omelet.
yeah, it is. It's the whole bit. So like I can appreciate how that can happen. This goes back to what Nick was saying.
Just a few eggs.
There it is.
Not.
So Nick was talking about how there is this inherent affirmation, right? Because this person is your mentor. They have a bias towards supporting you and encouraging you and liking you in this unearned way because you've been assigned to them, right? And so they take you under their wing and they're looking for reasons to like you, to get along with you. You're not really being tested. And so there is this huge dose of dopamine. And I think the same thing can happen, shoe on the other foot, from the mentor position, right? Because you get this young, enthusiastic mentee. They seem to admire you, which for men is intoxicating. It's like a drug. And like to feel like this, especially if it's a younger female and like she seems to admire you, she thinks you're great. And you're like, wow, this is going really well. I'm giving her these insights that I have about our industry or about this discipline that we both are training in. She really appreciates that. I feel special in her eyes. And it can very easily, even if you're non-sexual about it, like I can see how you can become addicted to that too and feel like, wow, this person really likes me and appreciates me, right? I'm important to them. And this goes both ways. And I just want to normalize that for Molly because it does happen on both sides. And I don't think that that's wrong. I think that's also what often happens in therapy and what we teach our students a lot about transference and countertransference and how common it is to develop a real connection that we have to actually work our way through, that it isn't bad that happens. It's actually a good sign because it shows that we're bonding really well, and it can be an asset to the work we're here to do as long as we don't allow ourselves to become distracted by it. And that would ultimately become the best advice that I have for Molly is I don't think it's weird or wrong that you naturally find that you bond to the mentor person and that you find yourself gravitating to them. Where I think you've really got the same skills that I would want in a therapy student is your self-awareness about that reality. That's what I want. And I tell our therapy students that all the time is that if you notice that you're feeling connected or even attracted to your patient, I'm not mad at you. You're not a bad therapist.
Right.
In fact, that may be an indicator that you're so genuine and sincere in this relationship that you're quite unguarded and like you really enjoy this person. And that's what I want. I want you to bond with them. Now, what I require is that you become very aware of that,
Yes.
right? And you can self-police, because I don't want that to now turn into a change in how you interact with this person. And that, Molly, is where I think you still have some room to grow, is where you notice things like I giggle, I'm effervescent, I'm behaving in ways that signal attraction and connection. I'm aware of that. And that creates a new challenge in my relationship, which may cause this guy to pull away because he's noticing I seem to be trying quite a bit, and like, he's starting to get nervous about what's going on between us, and like other people notice it. That's the only thing that I really want to change. I don't want to change that Molly feels these things. I'm fine with that. I want to get Molly to a place where she can stop, collect herself, self-reflect. If she's in therapy, discuss that with her partner, her therapist, and bring these things to the workshop table, and then kind of reapproach her relationship in this way that kind of countermeasures, this way that kind of adjusts for the feelings that she's having, so she can ultimately be where she wants to be in that person's life. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's harder to do than I'm framing it as.
Oh, totally. And
Sure.
it sounds like Molly's trying to do that, but I think we're like encouraging you, like, you really have to put a bunch of effort into
Right.
it. It's almost like saying, all right, part of my job now is all of these description in my job description. Also, I need to be professional.
Right.
It's just like how you decide what to wear to work that day, or what, whatever, how we speak at work, whether you cuss or not. Like, this
Right.
is just another decision you're making at work that you are challenged with, that maybe not everyone is. You are not alone. That is so true.
Right.
But I think it's something you have to be aware of, like Jim said, and just make that extra effort. And maybe try and find ways when you start noticing like those feelings inside. Jim mentioned giggling, but that's outward. What's
Sure.
happening before then? Are you getting like butterflies in your stomach? Are you kind of
Right.
smiling a little bit more? Like, what's happening before then that you can notice to intervene first, and maybe step out of the room, or like, don't go talk to them then.
Yeah.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like,
no, that self-restraint is very meaningful.
Yeah.
And like, obviously I'm using myself kind of adjacent to this to say I relate. I have
Yeah.
all these wonderful college students in graduate school. They're all very
Ooh.
impressive people, right? They're all gorgeous. No, so
no,
like,
it's hard when you're in a people field. Like, you're
Yeah.
gonna connect. You're gonna make connections.
we're going to connect.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
all, they're aspiring therapists. So like, we're all really good at connecting to humans. We're very unguarded.
Imagine being a college student and looking at Jim Jobin and being like,
Yes.
man, if only.
If only I could be with Jim.
Not
They're-
with.
Yeah.
Be you.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
They're aspiring to be like you.
Well, I wear all the gold. So I
That's
wear
what it
all the
is.
gold. Yeah, exactly. The best of Las Vegas is I turn them into a suit
Have
and
you
I walk around
have you
with them.
ever felt like there was a student, just yes or
Yeah.
no, that like has been attracted to you, or maybe some form of limerence, whether it's like actual?
I
attraction
don't
or
think I've ever detected attraction. No.
Okay.
And like I'm not surprised by that.
not. Me neither.
no one
No.
else
Yeah, I think if I were Nick, then yeah, I think it'd probably happen. But like, no,
Every
but
day
I've
of my
definitely,
life.
I've had students that have communicated
You're next,
admiration.
Nick. Coming
Yeah, that's right.
over here.
This is why I can only
Personal
bring Nick
trainer.
in once a semester to talk to my class, because if he showed up twice, they would just like immediately be stalking him on
The
the internet.
trick
Huge
is
orgy.
the trick is 3 unbuttoned.
That's right.
buttons
Yeah, I
down
always
the
notice
front
you
of
have
the
a few
shirt.
Chest
extra.
hair.
The V is a little deeper
Yeah.
on that day. Yeah, what's really
Wait,
helpful
do we
about
count
Nick?
the top button? When we say how many unbuttoned buttons there are we counting the top button that
Yeah,
closes up
that
the collar?
counts. So that's
okay.
one,
That's one.
2,
Yeah.
3.
He usually gets
You're
that.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He gets to about the navel. That's where he keeps the
Yeah.
unbuttoning. Yeah.
Jake,
No, I'm
that's
just realizing
like he
that my
wears a button
regular my regular three my regular look with button shirts is definitely 3 unbuttons.
There you go.
Ooh.
Mine's always 2.
Yeah,
I never
no,
have to
definitely go
worry
3.
that Nick's going to seduce my
Nick's a prude.
students because they've all, after they meet Nick, they're like, how do I get a hold of that guy? And I have to explain that he's Amish and he basically
He's
doesn't know how the
unreachable.
internet works.
Yeah, he
And so I'm
doesn't.
like,
They're
I know
always
he
asking
looks
for his
like this
Instagram now
really
that I made him
hot
one.
40-year-old dude. In reality, he's 95 years old.
Yeah.
He doesn't know how any technology works.
If you would like to get a hold of him,
Yeah.
you can record
They- no,
your voice
this
onto
has
a
happened.
wax cylinder.
Yeah.
And you can send it to him.
No, this is
via
absolutely happened.
camel.
I have
The
had
funny
students
thing
that
is
have like,
that-
how do I find his private practice, his physical training, and they've disguised it as I want to make referrals to him, which I'm like, I'm sure you fucking do, but like I try to tell them, I'm one of his closest friends. I own a business with him. I don't know how to find this shit. Good luck.
He didn't
It's
tell
the
If
funny
I didn't have his
Jennifer.
direct cell phone, I email him and he yells at me that I sent him an email to the wrong email. Because it's the Google and not the Yahoo, or the Yahoo and not the Google.
Well,
and this
straighten-
week he
straighten
doesn't
your
know how
shit
to
out.
check one. Yeah, there's no hope.
The
So-
best part is that they interpret that as me being very avant-garde.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, they're just like, oh wow, he's so elusive.
You're very coy.
Yeah. It's Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
like, oh, he's just staring out the castle into the wilderness. He just doesn't care. It's like,
call
no,
him a
he's an
beast?
idiot. He doesn't know how the he doesn't know what's his Instagram. I don't fucking know. Good luck.
He would love to know how all that stuff works.
I wish he did.
He can't.
Our business would be doing
He is
much
not
better if he
able to.
fucking knew how to use it. Anyway, so all of this is to come full circle and just to say, I think in my position where I've noticed people that, no, not necessarily attraction, but like admiration or like, hey, there's a connection here. My advice to you, Molly, is I think it's good to notice it. I think there's nothing wrong with noticing it. Where I think you're getting yourself kind of stuck is I think you should check in with yourself and ask yourself, what is the best version of this relationship? How could this relationship be the best version of itself for me personally? How would I get the best I could get out of this? So with my students, that's an easy answer. Like if this student goes on and says, I once studied under Jim and I really admire Jim. I think he's a good therapist and he treated me well. I have nothing but good things to say. That is like the best thing that could ever happen. And then we become colleagues when they graduate and they get in the field, and we become colleagues who refer to each other and admire each other. That would be the gold possible standard. So if I'm ever noticing that I'm getting too friendly with this person or it's getting too casual, I remind myself the best of all outcomes is not that I make a new friend, because that really wouldn't be the gold. The best of all outcomes is we become colleagues who admire each other and refer to each other, and this person says, I studied under Jim, and Jim gets to be part of that
Under
person's
Jim.
legacy. Yeah, under doggy
Lot
style.
of
However
studying.
you study. However you
The
like to
three of
study.
us were all thinking the same thing on that one.
Y'all were too?
So checking on that, Molly, and asking yourself, what is the best possible outcome for this relationship? Reminding yourself of that and regrouping your behaviors to align with that. Sometimes that can give you the best possible move,
Yeah,
even if you don't
self-talk.
have control over your emotions.
I
You
like
asked
it.
if there's a medicine. There's not. Good luck. You're just going to have to deal with
Whatever.
this.
You don't think like she mentions all the dopamine. You don't think
Take a
some
hit of dope. That'll fix
version
it.
of either an antidepressant or
For emotional regulation, I wouldn't. I would tell you to consult with your therapist.
Yeah,
I don't have any
definitely talk
opinions
to a
about
doctor. But I mean, there's probably something that could be helpful. I don't know what that is.
that.
I'm not
Drugs.
a-
Always the answer. Take a hit of
Turn to
Nick.
drugs.
Take a nice
Fentanyl, like
50
Jacob
cc's of Nick right to the throat. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're talking about a podcaster's fears after the Charlie Kirk assassination.
I'm taking a break.
Oh, there it is.
You're listening to Pod Therapy.
All right, today's episode is brought to you by Smitty Scoop, Mason Miller, Tess Miller, Byler T, Paris, Team Monaco, Oscar Swanrose, Hannah Marie, Emma Kane, Myra, and Sam Cohn. And if you'd like to sponsor the show, become a therapy producer, patreon.com/therapy. All right, here we go. Who always leads off here? I feel like it's
I'll
Jacob's
start.
turn.
All right.
Jacob's turn.
Okay, let's go
He's
counter.
our canary in the coal mine.
We'll go counterclockwise here.
Is that
Here we go.
right,
This trivia is parent company trivia.
Okay.
What?
No,
So I'm
boy.
going to name a brand, and you
There's
have to
only
name
6 in
the
the
parent
US.
company.
Yeah, right. It's always
like-
the same 10.
It's
I'm like, I
General
got 2 of
Motors,
them.
Johnson and Johnson.
Yeah, Johnson
Viacom.
Johnson
Yeah,
and
it's
Co.
always going to be
Viacom.
the same 5. Yeah, we got
Gee.
this. Yeah. Halliburton, Blackstone. I think we can win this game.
All right, Jacob. How fitting. How fitting. Here we go. Ben and Jerry's.
Ooh.
Wow.
Oh,
No.
shit.
I have no idea.
Shit.
Oh, okay. So are you going to take options?
I'll
Are there
give,
options, or
we'll
do
give-
we have to
Yeah,
shoot
no,
for
there's options.
No,
We'll
yeah,
give,
I get options.
Because I want to steal it, because I could steal off the hip.
You know the
I-
company name who owns Ben
I
and
feel
Jerry's.
like I might
I
too.
do, but obviously not because I'm a smart man, but
They were
because
just in the news.
I really like Ben and Jerry's ice cream, and so I just happen to
I
have
like Ben and
looked at
Jerry's
the
ice
label.
cream too.
But I've looked
there's
at the label, and so I
Yeah.
know the label because I looked at it and I was like,
Ah.
"Oh, my cologne is made by these," and I was like, "That's interesting. They own my cologne and my favorite ice cream," and that's the
There's
only
your
reason
hint.
I know that.
Hey, now that I've gotten a little more information, I would like hints. All right,
Okay.
I'd like options.
He'll take up.
PepsiCo, Unilever, Nestle, or Mars.
Oh. That feels like it could be a Nestle thing. I'll say Nestle.
No.
No, okay.
Goes to Whitney, unless it's me. What's
No, it goes to
I
Whitney.
said counterclockwise.
Counterclockwise.
Is that
what
me?
he
Oh,
said,
I
yeah.
Am I the other way?
I said counterclockwise.
You did. You
and I
did the
went like
motion, and I
this.
was
Yeah,
like, he said
I don't
counter,
know.
so I'm going to go with
Wait.
what he said.
You could have gotten
depends
away
on
with
which
it. but
direction
that's
you're looking
clockwise.
at.
Clockwise.
Yeah,
So am I
I
counterclockwise?
was underneath the clock.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is it me? Am I next?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want Unilever.
It is.
It is Unilever.
Nice.
1 point for Jim. I only noticed because they have a big U as their logo with like it's filled with like I think smaller U's. And
All I was picturing was like I could picture the Nestle logo
Right,
at
the
the
Nestle
bottom
logo, yeah.
of in like that little blurb of
Oh,
their
your
stuff.
guess was solid.
Yeah.
Of all the options, that was a solid option. I just
right.
only knew that it was Unilever because I've looked at it.
Jim, Doritos.
Oh shit. Oh
I'm going to
god.
hide my Dorito bag
I'm gonna go
real
with
quick.
Frito Lay. let me shoot
On the
Frito Lay
fly?
from the hip.
No.
Oh, all right.
Can I use my Dorito?
You can take options. You cannot look at your goddamn Dorito
I
bag
can't. It's right here.
on your feet.
buddy.
She's like towing it right now.
All right,
Like she's gonna
options.
braille her fucking answer.
Okay. PepsiCo. Mondelez International.
Feels right.
Kraft Heinz. Kellogg's.
Oh, jeez.
What was the first one again?
PepsiCo.
Oh, Pepsi.
Oh my god. Those are all really good answers. I'm really sad that Frito Lay wasn't on there.
Pepsi, Kellogg. I'm not going to do the second one, whatever that was. that you
Kraft
can-
Heinz was the third one.
Oh.
Um,
Kraft and Heinz are the
Mondelez
same company?
International.
God
Yeah.
damn it. Wow.
Kellogg.
How is that not a monopoly?
No.
Damn it.
Goes to Jacob.
So it's not Kellogg. I'll
You got
say
Montague.
what was the first one?
PepsiCo.
I'll say Pepsi.
I feel like that's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of
I was
course,
gonna
you guys,
guess that.
Super Bowl commercials. They
Right.
always have Doritos and
Yeah.
Pepsi and Lay's and all that shit.
Well, they have
always,
a lot of things, Tangerman. Why
Yeah.
would we associate
No,
all of them?
because
are
they
owned by
put them in the
thing?
same commercial.
I mean, one of us did.
Oh,
Yeah.
do they?
One of
Yeah.
us associated them.
Yeah.
I was like, Pepsi doesn't own shit.
Yeah.
I
They
was
also
going to
own
guess. I was like,
Taco
nah.
Bell. They do have a
Okay.
Doritos taco. I guess that's
Shots
how we
fired
should
at
figure it out.
Pepsi.
Sorry, Pepsi.
from
Stay down,
Whitney.
Pepsi.
All right, Whitney, who owns the brand Old Spice?
There it is. Nailed it.
Oh yeah, that was much better.
Thank you, buddy.
It's going to be
May.
it's going to be May.
It's
I
September.
think it's going to be either Johnson & Johnson or
Ooh.
P&G.
Shoot from the hip, girl. Do it. Respect yourself.
Don't say that. You're lying to me, whatever you're saying.
No,
I don't
want
trust
you
you.
to do it. It's because I respect you. Because I'm a feminist.
Johnson & Johnson.
That a girl.
No.
You
I
dumb
would like
bitch.
options.
I feel like I'm going to murder you, Jim.
Colgate Palmolive, Unilever, Procter & Gamble, Edgewell Personal Care.
I'll be an edgelord,
P&G.
dude.
It's
was my
possible that we have
second
that I
one.
have forgotten what the question was.
Old Spice.
Old
Old
Spice.
Spice. That's right. Okay. And now I would like the options again, please.
Colgate Palmolive, Unilever, Procter & Gamble, Edgewell Personal Care.
Oh
I
boy.
feel like
Ah,
Colgate.
I like
I mean,
them all.
Colgate is that's the easy one. I feel like
Okay.
that's the red herring.
All right.
I'll
P&G.
say
That's what my guess was.
B.
Start the fires.
B, Unilever,
No, not Unilever. Fuck Unilever. Who's the other one?
Procter & Gamble.
Procter and Gamble. That's
Yeah,
what I want.
that one.
Okay. Yes.
All right.
That was my
Damn.
second one. I chose wrong.
All right.
Doing really good.
Real quick. Here we go. Xbox. Jacob.
Microsoft.
Lightning.
Yes. 2 points.
Jesus.
Good job.
Wow.
LaCroix.
LaCroix?
LaCroix.
Coke.
No.
That was going to be my
Damn
guess.
it.
I'm like, Pepsi.
I know it's got to be the other one, right?
Is it Pepsi?
no.
Shit.
Nestle?
No.
Dr. Pepper.
National Beverage Corp.
Fuck you.
I think
And-
Pepsi owns
you know,
Dr.
just
Pepper.
fuck you in
Yeah,
the neck.
I'm gonna look
That's
Whitney.
a dumb
Yeah.
question.
Haagen-Dazs.
Ooh.
Nestle.
No.
Volkswagen.
Ben and Jerry's.
No.
Haagen-Dazs. Did you already say
Is
Nestle?
it Volkswagen?
Volkswagen.
No, it's not Volkswagen.
Nestle.
They also have Cheerios.
Millers.
General Mills.
Oh,
General
General
Mills.
Mills.
It is
The honeybee.
Damn it.
Point for
that
Nick.
honeybee.
All right.
Nice.
All right, I'm clearly winning. Podcast your fears after the Charlie Kirk assassination. Buckle up, Fran. Here we go. Hello, Pod Therapy crew. There we go. There's
Jesus Christ.
0% chance.
We're canceled.
I think Trump may personally arrest us.
He is.
I hear a knock
He's
at the door
calling me.
right
Yeah.
now.
Just no way. Hello, Pod Therapy crew. You are part of a great network of shows I now listen to through being a Scoop. One of the other shows you are connected through via Ice Cream Social is more political in nature, and its hosts have found themselves shook by the recent shooting, even to the point they have seriously considered withdrawing from the show or even no longer doing live events. I care about them, and selfishly, I really enjoy their show a lot and would hate to lose it for my weekly listen. They are calm and rational in their approach to talking about events, and although they don't seem like they say anything I would think would trigger people to target them, all it takes is one person. And in this environment, with greater and greater risk, I was hoping that you could talk about strong feelings of people in the podcast world after the shooting, and maybe how to deal with the feelings of fear being a more and more public figure when you are publishing any thoughts out into the world. Have you all ever worried about speaking your minds, especially after events like this? Have you ever been afraid that creating content might negatively impact you or even threaten your safety? I care about the content creators I follow, and I think it's important we humanize your experiences. Thanks in advance for your answer and all you do for the world. Signed, Anonymous.
I know Jim never worries about.
Don't
how
you worry
this
about old
affects-
Jim.
Not a
Cool
one
as a
single
cucumber
time.
over here.
He's not sweating right now just thinking about it.
Great.
He hasn't been constantly looking at the door the whole time.
Is that what all the emails are?
And he still hasn't gotten a fucking will.
I
So Jacob,
know.
you've in the past, in the history of Pod Therapy, I don't know if you've ever told this on air. You've shared with us that you've obviously ICS, much bigger show, has been around for a very, very long time. And you guys have done tons of live events.
I have no idea where he's going with
Just
this.
follow
I
me.
just like to say that right
Don't
now.
you worry. You've shared with us in the past that there have been some tough days. There have been some tough days where the occasional person has stepped over some lines.
Oh, sure.
And made hosts feel unsafe.
Yeah.
And I don't think those humans ever meant to cause harm. You've always been very careful to say, look, nobody's out there just being a bad person to be a bad person. But humans do overstep.
Yep.
And as a professional entertainer, that can be tough sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, if you go back, if you're not on the Patreon, this is my turn to say it now. If you're not on the Patreon, this is a good week to get on the Patreon, Ryder.
It is.
Because if you didn't listen to today's Patreon, I started to go into almost exactly this letter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is, I was in a full-on, like, funk the day that Charlie Kirk was shot.
Yeah.
Because of all of this. Because of, and I could have just written this letter. It's just because of all of these things. I definitely have thought about it. And I mean, to some degree, Charlie Kirk was killed for his opinions.
Sure.
Take that to some degree with a lot of seriousness. Like, to some degree, his opinions contributed to him getting killed. I have, for over a decade and I don't know how many thousands of hours on the internet, my voice is just out there. And yeah, it that shit comes up every now and then.
Yeah.
Because why wouldn't it? Like, if somebody gets shot for it and that's what you do, it's a really straight line connection. Like, I'm not burning a lot of calories here making this connection. The part that, of course, gives me a modicum of peace about the situation is that Charlie Kirk was a more he was more interested in having spirited debates and even arguments with
Like
people.
provoking.
That's it. Not even provoking. That's not. I wouldn't say provoking, but he was definitely interested in having arguments with people
Sure.
Publicly.
Yeah.
And I am not. I am not interested in that kind of. I'm simply not interested in that kind of entertainment, and that's what I started to say in the pre-show today. Is I was never a fan of Charlie Kirk, but I'm not a fan of the thing that he did.
Right.
Style of content.
I was aware of him. Yeah, I'm simply not a fan of that type of content, and I'm honestly not terribly versed on a lot of his opinions. I know kind of like
Yeah.
the big headline opinions that everybody knows about him if you just have a newspaper subscription. But
Laura has one of
past that, I don't know anything about it. But yeah, it was definitely a weird thing.
It's got to be weird too because you've never struck me as somebody who hides their opinion really either. So it's like, yeah, maybe you're right. You're not standing on a stage in front of like
I'm not arguing, but
thousands of people
I'm also
giving
not,
that opinion. But you've never been shy. So I wonder if that shy about your opinion. So I wonder if that was part of the impact.
Because that's just I can't be worried about me. Like I can't be worried about who I am in addition to everything else. I think at some point I just have to accept who I am just as a person, and I'm an opinionated person. When I want to share those opinions, I am loud. I can effectively share those opinions. I have platforms to do them on.
Yeah.
Like sure.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. I've never
doesn't
really.
It doesn't make me scared, I guess,
Yeah.
but it is a mind fuck.
I'm so far disconnected from that. I didn't have any kind of experience like that.
Yeah.
Like I'm looking at it the same, I think, as anybody else on earth is looking at it.
Right.
Which is just like, oh my God, this is wow.
Yeah.
That was
The whole thing
That was
is
intense.
horrible.
Holy
The whole thing-
shit.
Yeah. Every part about it is horrible.
there was no part of that I related to.
Right.
Because I'm not that famous.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
I mean,
That's what
like
you
it's not
think.
something. I mean,
Just kidding.
I'm not even in the top 3 of the most famous people in this room. So like I'm not. And this is probably, and maybe this is probably I take this to a fault, maybe to a different level.
Oh,
that
sorry. Yes,
I
you
shouldn't-
are, Nick.
No.
Sorry, I was a little late.
Missed it.
I was a little late.
Not
Slow
it's fine.
processing.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm not even upset about it.
Yeah, you don't seem like it.
But I don't take it maybe that's my problem is I need to take it more seriously because like we've got a small audience. It's never been anything that I've thought of, but Laura takes it a lot more seriously.
What was your reaction? Like, generally describe what your reaction was when you found out that Charlie Kirk had been shot and you found out the general details of it.
It was a holy shit like
Sure.
moment. Like, wow, did this just happen? Like, is this really? It just shock.
Yeah.
Like I can't believe that really happened. And I knew he's obviously had enemies.
Sure.
But like anybody who, like you said, has strong opinions and goes out is going to have enemies.
Oh, yeah.
Especially if you're like that. That's what the content was all about.
Yeah.
It was about being provocative. It was about having these like conversations.
Yeah.
If conversations were very civil, I don't think he would have been famous.
Right.
Oh, of course not.
It was
Right.
more
I mean, it was
interesting.
much more.
No, the fight was what got attention.
That's what-
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
exactly. And so yeah, I think my reaction to that was just like, wow, I can't believe that happened.
Yeah.
But then on the other hand, I was like, no, I kind of do because like
Sure.
this is kind of the time. This is the age we live in now.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
this is
So a second
this shit
ago,
just
you were
happened.
saying, I don't personally feel necessarily like exposed because we do have a smaller audience, and so we're not like Joe Rogan out there. But you were saying like, but I'm engaged, and
Yeah.
like she
Well, and
sees
if anybody-
that we have a show, and we have fans, and
Yeah.
we have a Discord, and we have Instagram, we have all these people that follow our shit, and we meet them in person. And it sounds like, yeah, sometimes it's kind of like, for her, it does feel like, no, you guys actually matter. Like, you
Right.
you have an audience.
Well, and to be honest, I mean, if somebody was going to attack us and came in this room right now, I know I'm not going to be the first one.
Okay.
That's going to get attacked.
That's hurtful.
I have time to run.
Yeah.
He's been working
I'm
out,
gonna be
Jim,
all right.
okay?
Like, I know-
bear routine, right?
I know where
don't
the
have to
exits
be
are.
faster than the bad guy. I just have to get away from not the slowest person in this room, and I'm confident in my ability to hop the wall before the rest of you
He can do a pull-up.
First thing I do is I grab Whitney and throw Whitney at the attacker.
Whitney's the least likely to be attacked. I think they're just like, oh, well, get out of the way, Whitney. I get these douchebags. And I'm really just here to protect you from them because they're all
I just
dumbasses.
want to say to anyone who has ever had bad thoughts about those of us on Pod Therapy.
There you go. Let's get this.
If you were to come in to this room, as you come through the door, I would be the first one that you would see.
Yeah.
And that might seem like, oh, I should target Jacob first. I'm just going to tell you, Jim is the physically closer person to you.
He's hiding in the closet
He's just
right now.
right around from the side. As soon as
Thank
you
you,
walk
Jacob.
through the door,
Thank you.
Jim
Thank
will
you.
be immediately
Yes.
to your right.
Okay, this is a great point.
Yeah.
Really
so Jim
useful.
is right there. Don't get distracted by looking at me. Jim is right next to me.
So, Nick, you were saying that Laura sometimes feels a way about
Laura's
this.
a lot more.
Anybody want to take bets on whether Jim is going to move where he sits next to me?
100%. I'll move during this episode.
He's
The
looking
next
around.
trivia break,
He's
I'm going to move
wondering.
just in case.
That's why Jim doesn't sit still. He's
Yeah,
always
yeah.
moving around. So.
Always
Juking and jiving. Jim juking and jiving, Jobin.
Why is he on the ground? Never mind.
Don't
Don't
worry
let him
about
do
it.
what he's going to do.
He's taking cover.
No, so Laura is a lot more attuned to the dangers of being and I feel weird saying a public figure.
Let's
It's
go
Pod
ahead.
Therapy.
Go aad. Let's.
But
How about
like,
say a podcaster?
a podcaster, yeah.
And
And
the
so-
writer's asking us a sincere question.
So there is,
Yeah.
So there are times, like there are certain things that I cannot bring up on this show.
Yeah.
That I know, and things that are
Like what?
overly
I'm just
personal. So I got a list
Laura's
of them right
exactly
here.
Yeah.
Here are the
fears.
things.
Release the list.
Here are the things
Yeah.
that we will not talk about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do I have a drum roll? I must have a drum roll here somewhere.
Right, but that's just out of courtesy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a lot of stuff too where like
And those are things like between you and Laura you can't talk about.
Yeah, and
Just to be
so-
clear, yeah.
Yes, exactly. And so there are things that she will say like, okay, you can't talk. Don't say anything about this on the show.
don't bring it up,
And
yeah.
to me, I'm like, oh, who the fuck cares? Like,
Don't
but
worry
then,
about it.
But I don't, out of respect for her, I won't do it. But she's probably right. Like,
Yeah.
there are certain things that the world doesn't need to know
Right.
about
Oh, that's
what's
true.
happening in our
Sure.
lives.
Sure.
There are certain things like that. So, just being careful about what information gets out, and I'm sure if somebody wanted to know a lot of details, they could probably research it and they
Well,
could
and
find
that's
it
the-
out. But
and
I
the
don't have
thing
to
is,
offer it.
That is true for everyone.
Right.
Yes.
But being any kind of public figure, any level of public figure, means that you're opening the idea of that up to more people than a person in a non-public figure role opens themselves up to. It's not that you're putting information out there. It is that you're putting the idea of you out there.
Yes.
And people go like, oh, Nick. I'm curious about Nick. I wouldn't have been curious about him if I hadn't heard him on this podcast, but this podcast has made me curious about Nick, and so I'm going to whatever.
So, and this is I think the heart of the idea. Like, we are not a big deal, but when you cross that threshold of presenting yourself to the world, you do not have control over who meets you. Whereas when you're not a quote unquote public figure or podcaster, you have direct control over how much information you give to each human you meet. So you may be friends with Jacob, and Jacob may be friends, or may be friends with Matt, and Matt may be friends with Penn Jillette, right? And it's very possible that you could tell a story to Jacob that translates to Matt, that translates to Penn Jillette. Now Penn Jillette knows something about you personally. But that is such a weird telephone game. It's very unlikely that it's really going to be impactful. But whenever you put things out on the internet, now you have this direct stranger who you do not get to vet, who gets to know whatever you just said about yourself.
And it's there forever.
And it's there forever.
Things that I said over a decade ago are just very easily accessible.
It is a fascinating kind of reality. And I know for me, I appreciate this question. I think it gives us a chance to really pull back the curtain a little bit. Pod therapy is, and there's a conversation on Discord right now where we're talking about this. Pod therapy, in my opinion, if I may be
sorry, I haven't been
bold-
on Discord this week. I'm just busy with
Here's what
Scoopfest
you
stuff.
missed.
That's
Here's
why
what
I'm
you
not on
missed.
Discord
Of course,
this week.
That's why you missed it.
Yeah.
What you missed is, in my
Understandable.
opinion, pod therapy is much smaller than it deserves to be. The feedback I get from people all the time, and it's a self-selecting sample, they obviously like us, but the people that I hear from say, this show is just so unique. People will say, you four are really naturally friends. You have this really great banter, and yet you can expertly dive in and out of very serious conversations, talking about suicide, talking about really deep sexual stuff, talking about relationships, trauma stuff, and then pop right back out, and you all magically balance jokes and seriousness. Somehow listeners are getting this expert level knowledge, and yet it's this passive, like morning zoo kind of energy. And we've had a lot of people tell us over the years that like it is really special. And I've pitched the show to bigger networks to say, look, I don't know how to explain this to you, but like we've developed a really good global audience without ever trying. Like people just Google in their own podcast searches a topic they're interested in, and they find us organically, and we have just grown from that over 8 years, and we are consistent as shit. That's really hard to find. We are a very special show. And so people over the years have told me, like, it's a really special program. We've never been that big, despite what I think we probably could be for the quality of what we do. But we have had these special surges where we have gotten notoriety. And so one of the ways that this used to happen was through Reddit. We did a Reddit AMA back when Reddit was a big deal before it kind of got neutered. Back when Reddit was really significant, and we had a few really
what happened
big.
to Reddit?
Yeah, no, Reddit fell down.
I don't know anything about this.
Yeah, Reddit got bought and his whole business. But like Reddit, back whenever they used to have a really cherished AMA channel, we had a couple of years where we really blew up on that. We got to the front page of Reddit completely organically. And when that would happen, we would get floods of new listeners. And that was always a really strange experience, at least for me, Nick. Maybe you relate to this, because suddenly I would go into our Discord and we would have 300 new members. It would just double overnight. And it was like, whoa. And like this new group of people were interested in what we were doing, but they didn't know us yet as people. They didn't know the inside jokes. They didn't know the culture of the show. They didn't know how to talk to us or how to engage with us. And that would be really weird for a while because I'd feel really exposed to a group of people who I've never met. Like when we interact with people on our Discord or through Scoops, like we literally spend days with these people every year at a conference in Las Vegas. We drink together, we eat dinner together. Like we are very friendly, and like I have no fear of them whatsoever. I know that we are actually friends, and they listen to the show, and I'm not a figure to them. I'm a real man that they've met, and they realize I'm underwhelming, and like great, and so like
they get it.
There's a very humanized process.
That's the mustache we've been talking about all these years?
That's the whole bit. What's frightening to me about the Charlie Kirk
that was
thing
on your list,
is whenever people develop this.
Just do that today.
You call it a parasocial relationship, or you call it whatever you want, but there is sometimes this infatuation or intimidation with this person who's in media. And I've seen this where, like, obviously Charlie Kirk is unusually important because the man lost his life. But I've seen a lot of other podcasters who have been targeted where listeners have decided, I don't like you for something you've done or said. I feel personally betrayed by you because I liked your brand and now you did something deviant from that brand. I've lost track that you are just a human with a microphone hanging out in your buddy's guest bedroom right now. And I've thought of you as much bigger than you really are. And now I've designed this whole takedown campaign to destroy your business, to destroy the way you have a livelihood, to track down people that matter in your life, to publicly humiliate you, as if you're exposing like Brad Pitt, as if it's like this big, huge, important social justice takedown.
Can I talk about that for a second?
Go for it.
It is happening today. I'm not going to say who it is happening to, but it is happening today. A person in Las Vegas entertainment on their random social media page, just like their things social media page. And by the way, I don't know how hard or whatever this will be to figure out who it is. If you want to figure out who it is, figure out who it is. You probably can. Do me a favor. Don't ask me about it because like I'm having to deal with stuff related to this and everything. So whatever. I don't need to get into it later on for all the listeners again, because this is about as deep as I'll go with it anyway. But anyway, so this guy DMs this act on their social media page, on their act's social media page, and asks them to do a performance for somebody that this person knows. The act did not get back to the person to the stranger as quickly as the person seems to have thought that act should have gotten back to them. And they have gone on a fucking like burn the bridges behind them campaign.
Right.
They have gone on every social media platform that they can try to get onto.
Wow.
They're getting on there and bad mouthing this act.
Oh my God.
For not getting back to them on the social media direct messenger.
Wow.
About a gig.
Yeah.
Just about a gig that I'm sure they would have gotten back to had they seen it.
Right.
But they hadn't seen it yet. So like they hadn't gotten around to it.
Right.
And like burning it down to the degree that I had a conversation with this person earlier today, and we were talking about like, here are the things to do. And believe it or not, most of my advice is block and purge.
Yeah.
Right.
Block and purge.
Yeah.
We don't feed the trolls in this house. We don't like if you want to behave like that. And they were like, oh, this person even emailed my ex email and everything, and was telling me how horrible it was that I hadn't gotten back to them and all of this stuff. Apparently, they made an OnlyFans. I haven't seen this, but like they made an OnlyFans with like some kind of sexual cartoon about the person in the act. Something
Wow.
Jesus.
but people have been calling the act and calling and emailing the act and being like, hey, I'm seeing this stuff about it.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, no, we burn all of this down. We who cares?
Yeah.
But
We're done.
It goes to show.
But it is a weird thing, and I have that response because I've been doing it for a little while.
Right.
And like my mom went through the same thing years ago. She was part of a program in Louisiana to try to get a law passed so that Louisiana, like public schools and like state sponsored things, wouldn't do helium balloon releases. That was the entire that she
Bad
works
for the environment.
She works on she has volunteered for many years at a wildlife bayou refuge. And so like she sees balloons floating in the bayou.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And so she's been part of this thing. She had people like telling her on Facebook to kill herself and do all of these things. And she's like, I went to a fucking town hall meeting and said, I don't think we should release balloons. I think it's littering. It's going up instead of down, but I still think it's littering. Thank you for your time.
Right.
Like that was basically what she had done.
Yeah, that was the extent.
Yeah. And she's calling me. She's like, these people are telling me to kill myself. I have to respond. I'm like, no.
Don't respond.
We don't respond to anything.
Nope.
We just delete. We delete, we block, we move on.
Yeah.
If something comes up later and this person continues, like they get multiple accounts or something, then we will cross that bridge later on.
Right.
Fortunately, that hardly ever happens.
Yeah, it's rare.
And I mean, I'm aware that I'm saying that in a Charlie Kirk discussion.
Sure.
Because fortunately, not many podcasters get shot in the neck.
Right.
It's true. Pretty low.
But
So
it
it's not the comfort that you want, but that's all. It's kind of all I got.
But it is not uncommon, and that I think you're piggybacking on the point that I was making, that it's not entirely uncommon that violence is uncommon, but some kind of recoil.
Oh yeah.
Because you exist and because you have a platform. And podcasting, I think, is unique in the world because I do think it's a very intimate format.
Of course.
It feels much more like you're sitting, with these people in the real world. We're unguarded. We know we're not being videoed. And I think actually that allows us to be much more organic than we would be if we felt like we were putting on, airs for a video. And all of that comes through. And so there really is this organic connection. And that's what a parasocial relationship fundamentally is. But when those strangers out there who we haven't personally vetted and we can't think about what they know about us, when they learn something about us, or they've heard something about us, or they dislike something about us, or they feel personally let down or betrayed by us because they discover that we're just shitty humans.
Yeah.
That do shitty, dumb things. We don't tip sometimes. We are.
I don't do that.
Yeah, right. Nobody would.
I don't do anything that bad.
We're in Vegas. But yeah, we step on toes. We make the wrong decision in the wrong moment. We are just fallible humans. And there is this huge sense of letdown as a result to that. And then there are wrong-sized responses.
Yeah.
So all of that is Jim kind of coming full circle to the writer's question where they're saying, hey, in a world in which you have been a content creator, does that ever frighten you? Do you ever fear that kind of thing? I don't ever fear like violence because I do think that is extremely rare. But I do fear this kind of idea that, you could become this person to the listener that is idealized a little bit and special, and they hold you in a certain kind of sacrosanct kind of way.
Not real.
Not real. You don't get to be warts and all.
Yeah.
You just become this polished human. And then they say, well, you're supposed to be a therapist, but you said this really dumb thing on the Discord, or you said this stupid thing on the Twitter, or I went to Scoopfest and you were 2 whiskeys in and suddenly you made this really off-colored joke in my presence. And now, kind of going back to cancel culture or whatever, like, I kind of don't think you should exist. I'm so angry at you.
Right.
It's like, you just wouldn't have that amount of emotional energy toward a guy that you just knew through a
Although
friend.
that is hard to do with podcasters.
Right.
You may notice that podcasters hardly ever get canceled because everything about us is just context.
Right.
So it's very difficult to take something, like it's hard to take something that I've said in the past completely out of context because there's just so much of it. Like it was the same thing with public figures that you just saw all the time, you know, back in the network TV days and things like that. Like Ted
I've seen some
Koppel.
icky things happen
Sure.
where people will say,
Oh, it
I hung out
happens.
with Jacob at the bar.
Yeah.
And now I have this hot gossip. And then
Yeah.
there's new permeating rumor about you.
Sure.
Hits the community and people feel some kind of way about it, which it feels threatening. Like maybe it won't cost me everything I've ever worked for in my life, but all of a sudden this community that I've worked really hard to serve and to do a good job with feels a very big emotional energy about me, or somebody in that group feels a lot of emotional energy at me. That is very threatening. And so it is a very scary thing. And I guess I just want to relate to that because I think the writer's like giving us an opportunity to reflect and say, hey, this kind of thing is making me appreciate. I think that's what the writer is saying. I think they're saying seeing this is making me appreciate how much I like my podcasters, even my small-time podcasters.
There you go.
And I think the writer's saying, I genuinely want to humanize you guys and give you an opportunity to reflect on how scary things like this may scare you and may scare you out of podcasting. I mean, it's something we've never really talked about on the show, but I've almost quit pod therapy multiple times in the history of the show in 8 years, where I've gotten overwhelmed, sometimes because of me stuff, sometimes just fear stuff. And some of that fear is somewhat related to, like, I'm scared that my income and my family's well-being and everything has nothing to do with pod therapy. Pod therapy is essentially a hobby for me. And, like, if pod therapy could ever threaten my livelihood or hurt my patients or anything like that, then I get scared from it. And I go, I don't want to do this anymore. I have a patient who listened to the show and their well-being is threatened by the show. I shouldn't do this show anymore. And over 8 years, Nick has had, unfortunately, too many times where he had to sit me down and, like, listen to me cry and hear me go, I'm scared that I've ruined this patient's life because of pod therapy, or they didn't like the show.
That's not
they
why you
discovered the
ruined that
show.
patient's life.
Right, you're just a bad therapist. It's nothing to do with you're a good podcaster, but a really bad therapist. But, like, you know,
Never said that.
we've had times where I've had to say I'm scared of doing the show anymore. I think the best thing for me is to step away from the show. And, you know, Nick has always been really gentle about that, to say, Jim, at the end of the day, you don't owe me anything, man. If you don't want to do the show anymore, that's okay. You know, if you think that's the right thing for your life and your family and your practice and your patients, that's okay. But also always keep in mind that you have an anxiety disorder and you're not good at right-sizing things. And, like, will you promise to just take some time and keep thinking about it? And that's allowed me to come back and, you know, kind of feel safe again. And our community has always done a really good job of knowing that Jim's a fragile little bunny. And, like, you know, you got to be really careful with Jim because you could scare him off and fuck the show up for all of us.
Right.
You know, and so everybody does a really good job. But, you know, just to be human with you, writer, because I think you're asking a very sincere question. It gives me a chance to be very sincere back to you. And just, I think, hopefully remind the whole audience, we really are just little fragile humans that we do not make our money from pod therapy. It's just a public service project that we hope does good in the world.
And I've never been really worried or concerned about violence from what we do.
Right.
Because we've had people who have told us, like, I disagree with what you said. I am no longer a listener. And they've let us know.
And they've been pretty mean about
Yeah,
it, too.
and-
They said, you guys are
yeah.
bad at what you do. You shouldn't be
Yeah,
practicing.
and
yeah.
To me, that's about as bad as it's going to get for us.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah, because I don't think, because here's the thing, like, the thing that happened, what happened with Charlie Kirk that's not anything new, right? One of my favorite paintings it's The Death of Moreau by Jacques-Louis David. It's a French painting, and it's a painting of, maybe you've seen it before, but it's the guy, he's dead in his bathtub. And he's just laying back like that and his arms hanging down. So that was a real incident that happened during the French Revolution. And he was basically the Sean Hannity of his day. He had a newspaper. And so he was writing during the French Revolution, like he was just writing all this shit about, here are all the people that we need to kill.
Yeah.
Here's all the stuff. These are all the bad people. And he was putting out this paper every day, and then he was murdered in his bathtub. Some woman came in. She was, I think, like 16 years old.
The subject of the painting was
the subject of the painting.
I see.
Yes.
Okay.
And so he was murdered in his bathtub. And that was the painting. That was the subject of the painting, was this event that happened. And
so the guy in the painting was the newspaper guy.
Correct.
Right.
Yes, the guy in the bathtub. But basically what happened is, like, I think where it gets violent is when people feel like, yeah, I'm going to do this thing, but it's for a greater good.
The end justifies the means.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, it's this idea that, yes, this is not a good thing, but by me doing this, it puts an end to this much worse atrocity that I think is happening. Right.
This
and
guy's
ultimately
speech needs to be stopped.
Right. And ultimately it doesn't. That's like
it's
the thing.
Same. It's the not to go super dark with this, but it's the exact same justification for suicide.
Sure.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. I have a solution to this problem.
Right.
I can just stop it.
Right.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's the only way that you get to the end.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only end that you're going to get to is death.
That things are better without
Yeah,
you there.
I think that's the thing that makes me feel safe, is knowing that there's nothing that we're doing on the show that's really creating that kind of belief system.
Well, let's
where
step it
it's
up.
like, I need to put an end to the evil that pod therapy is doing. Like, I don't think anybody's.
I don't know.
I
Dude.
mean,
there's been some times that Whitney's going on and on. I'm like, you know what? I don't know.
Let's put an end to my evil ways.
I just
I was like,
throw an
The
elbow
fall
at
of
her
man.
right now. I just put a stop to this shit.
Well, I mean, it
Eat
goes.
the apple, Jim. Eat the apple.
Eat the apple.
It always goes small to big. So, like what Nick is talking about is all of the small stuff. When you get when we get a letter from Patreon saying that I am canceling my Patreon membership because you guys are assholes.
Right.
And I'm saying guys, including Whitney in that.
Yeah.
Because
I'm
Whitney
offended.
is definitely an asshole.
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, like
offended.
you guys are all assholes, and I'm canceling my Patreon. Hurts a lot.
Right.
When we get those emails, and we get them for Pod Therapy, we get them for Ice Cream Social, we get them for any thing that has that kind of you monetize on, and you do things regularly. We get cancellations, and like sometimes they come in and they fucking hurt. We get reviews.
Right.
I mean, there are reviews out there for various shows that talk about how bad I am.
Right.
On those shows.
I guess I'll stop making those reviews.
Yeah.
Stop, don't stop, I don't care.
Stop sending those texts to SJ.
Honestly, it's just
I
running
know
out the
who your
phone
wife is.
But yeah, like it all starts with those kinds of things. And so you say like, okay, well, here's someone who said Jacob is an asshole on this program. Well, you can say, great. There are 100 people that listen to this program. 1% of those people have now said that Jacob is an asshole. More people might have thought it, but one person stepped up and said it.
Right.
And so, I mean, you do get into that, and not to be the person saying the sky is falling a little bit here, but you do get into that with there aren't many people that shoot podcasters either.
Right.
There aren't many people that there aren't many people that post reviews about podcasts. There aren't many people that take out Patreon subscriptions to podcasts. There aren't many people that do each step further into the rabbit hole of a podcast.
Right.
You're already out of what the majority does usually.
Yeah.
And so I guess that's the part that weighed on me a little bit after the Charlie Kirk shooting was it's not even the idea that it just takes one. My thought is those people are always everywhere.
Right.
And they are not being hit. They're not being triggered. Whatever you pick the verb. And certainly not everyone is capable of everything. Not everyone is going to be someone that shoots someone the same way that not everyone is going to be the type of person that leaves a negative review for something.
Sure.
But it was something that was the part, I guess, that weighed on me more than the other, is just that those people are out there.
Right.
People who dislike me, people who are... But it's not even a fear thing. I really don't know how to explain it. Mindfuck is kind of the best way that I could explain it. Because it wasn't that I was walking around scared, even with the knowledge that I'm hosting a live podcasting event a few weeks after that. Like, okay, that's just what that is. That's the world that we live in, and that really sucks. But it doesn't change. It doesn't for a moment think like, it doesn't make me for a single moment think I have to withdraw something. I can't do live events. Or
change your behavior.
It doesn't make me. It doesn't make me want to change anything at all. Not in myself as far as that part goes. I don't know.
So Whitney, I'm curious. You're the newest member of the team here. You've been with us now well over a year.
It's still, according to Nick, more famous than him.
Yeah. Easily though.
Look,
Honestly.
I'm not happy about it either.
Oh, I didn't disagree with anything Nick said. You're right.
Let's be real.
Let's just keep it where it's at. I mean, honestly, Whitney has quickly risen to number 2. Jacob, Whitney, and then you and me are kind of down here at the bottom.
Number 2 work for?
Yeah, Whitney's doing very well. We are reminded by the
What are my
Discord
poll
community
ratings?
Tell us what
every day.
Tell us what you think there, Deuce.
Yeah, they're always saying Whitney is definitely the best part of the show.
Numero
And
dos.
most of our questions now say,
BT
for the love of
Deuce.
Christ, do not try to answer this without Whitney in the room. So we've learned. We are basically here as the support system for Whitney at this point. But no, I mean, you've handled this with a lot of grace. You've I think immediately when we brought you into the show, you played along with it. When we introduced you to our online community, you were like, I think at first you were sort of like, oh shit, I thought this thing was really just this dumbass
just the
thing.
three of y'all.
So some of my colleagues like just have this little silly hobby and they're just bring me on board. No,
Yeah.
you guys actually have like hundreds of people that are actually part of this and
Yeah, that
like
was
talk to you
wild.
every single week. And like you quickly got like involved with it and like picked up on the culture of like, hey, they're playful, they're teasing, they mean well though, they're all really good folk, they're real people. And then you started going to some scoop fests and like picked up on like, no, they're absolutely. And we tried to warn you before your first scoop fest of like, hey, people, you're going to forget episodes that have happened. They were listening though, and they're going to walk up to you and pick up on a joke that happened months ago that you've all forgotten about.
Yeah.
And then you're going to be like, oh shit, what is this person referencing? And then you're going to pick it up as you go. And like somebody literally went to the Jock versus Nerd Ball dressed as one of your jokes to like honor you.
So
and people
sweet.
were super sweet to you and like posing for pictures with you and wearing Pew Pew Whitney, shirts and like all this stuff. And like all of a sudden you had this fan club. And so I feel like generally it's been positive. I'm sure
Hope so.
overall it's been overwhelmingly positive. And yet to go from just, therapist who's just doing her job, going to work, going back home. Nobody really, there's no chat room discussing her thoughts this week. Now there is. And now you're going to another, engagement. What has it been like for you to sort of be a little bit more public and exist in this sphere of like, wow, there's people on the internet who I don't know personally who get to decide how they feel about what I've said this week, and they may decide that they don't like what I've said.
I know. Ugh. In the beginning, it was absolutely nerve-wracking. Like the first, for sure, I don't know, month, 2 months of just like recording every week. I was like, oh my God. I like replay in my mind back something I said and think like, what if that was perceived wrong?
You guys
or
remember
like
the first
just
episode
nervous
how
wreck.
Whitney was too scared to even be on it? Remember we introduced her as Cinnamon, the silent stripper?
I believe it was Mercedes.
Mercedes.
Oh, was it Mercedes? Oh,
Jim
okay.
doesn't remember.
No. The answer to
stripper
Jim's
name we gave
question
her?
is no.
Yeah, she just sat there silently, and we didn't even. We were like talking to the mic, and she's like, "No, I'm good. I really just want to exist and listen."
Yeah, so that was kind of wild, and I think it's because I care a lot about what other people think.
I hear you, girl. I'm with you.
It's reduced over time. I've gotten more comfortable, and I think Scoop Fest really helped back in May of last year.
Yeah.
Just seeing everyone in person and seeing how supportive everyone was, and y'all were not wrong. You have like an amazing, incredible group of people behind you. And
Which
so,
special
yeah.
shout out to Ice Cream Social, Jacob. Indefinitely, we are grateful that you, Paul, and that other asshole have included us in your family.
His name is Spadoni.
Okay, very talented musician. But anyway, just quick shout out.
So
Thank you
true.
for letting us be a part of your universe. It has made the
This
world
makes
of
the next part of
difference.
this conversation even more awkward.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh shit!
Spoke too soon.
Breaking up with us.
been a good run.
Oh shit! Well, we had a good run.
It's not you. It's just the venue has a number of seats available, and we just can't.
But we're on the fucking headline. We're on the marquee.
Yeah, I know.
There's
We're
only so
bummed
many
about
seats
it
on the
too.
stage.
It's just, if there was something we could do.
Yeah, I'd love to do something about it, but my hands are tied.
You were saying the people turn out to be wonderful.
Yes, that was so helpful. Just meeting people face to face and seeing how genuine everyone was and authentic, and just real people getting real tattoos.
Oh my god, Tess.
And Jim, you said this earlier. I've said this off air before. I don't know if I've ever said this on air, and I should.
How much you love me?
No. Jim mentioned that I have had problems in the past with listeners to various things becoming possibly a little overzealous. And truly, that has, because I have a rough idea about how many individual people have listened to Ice Cream Social over the years.
Okay.
So not like current subscriber numbers.
Right.
I have a rough idea of like how many individuals.
Okay.
And so I have constantly kind of in the back of my head a circular going of like, these people have all listened to me in some way, shape, or form. Like that's
Right.
always kind of spinning somewhere in the back of my head.
Right.
And what those very, very small number of people that became a little overzealous over some times, what that has done for me is made me happier and more confident and hopeful in people.
Okay.
Because
Wow.
I know that out of the not small number of people that have heard my voice over the years,
I see.
I know what the number is of people that have become a little overzealous.
Yeah.
And I know out of those people, the number of them that really kind of crossed the line.
Yeah.
And it is such a vanishingly small number. It isn't like that independent little piece of data that doesn't mean anything scientifically, by the way. It doesn't
Right.
mean anything at all. Doesn't indicate anything or anything like that. But that little piece of data has made me genuinely happier and genuinely more confident in just people in general.
That's a great point. It is an extremely small number.
Yeah.
And like, you know what's interesting too? coming back
And
to-
like statistically, zero.
Yeah, right.
Statistically, just
almost
nothing.
nobody. Almost nobody. Like one of the things that has hit me is when I've gotten onto the Discord and groused about, I really like people say nice things about the show, and I'll be like, I really do think this is special. I really do think what we've created is a special show in the podcasting universe. I've sampled alternatives that are question and answer shows with experts or with comedians. It is just hard to pull off what we do. And I've kind of groused and said, man, I really wish people would find us. I really wish we get our shot. And it's funny because I've had other like listeners of the show who have said, on one hand, I love you guys and I want that for you. On the other hand, I love that our community looks the way it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, change.
And if
those
you guys
things,
went
yeah.
viral and blew up, we would have no control over that. Right now, people find us one at a time. And they join the community. Every week we're like, oh, new Therapal,
They
new
meld in there.
Therapod. They just found us. They're joining the community. They're in the Discord now. They're chatting with us. And like one by one, they get absorbed. And
But
they
you
kind of
know
wait
how I
and see
know
and
that
figure
that's
us
a
out
little, not paranoid, but that's the word I'm going to use anyway because it's our listeners saying it. So they know that I am not telling them that they are actually paranoid.
first. I think that's what you're saying.
But you know what I mean. But we've had that happen.
Right.
In the examples that you gave earlier in this episode, we talked about the spikes that used to happen in listenership and in community back and forth.
Yes.
Every time one of these big spikes would happen, and that community surfed right through all of that, no problem at all.
Right.
Because the community is a different thing from the show.
Right.
And that's something that we've figured out at Ice Cream Social a very long time ago. Is this community that has happened around us, and the same thing has happened here, it is not part of us. That is the listeners. And it's nice. We get to think nice thoughts about ourselves and say we attract good people and nice people who are kind to each other, and this is a wonderful community. I mean, and that's great. And I guess we can say that.
Right.
But at the same time, it's still you people doing it.
Right.
It's still not us doing it. Like
exists on its
y'all
own.
the ones just being nice to each other and being kind to each other. And I don't think for a second, when 300 new people would show up one week and they'd be gone the next week, because of a Reddit thing.
Right.
That didn't faze you guys.
Yeah.
I don't know why another 600 people would do, or another 1,000 people would do.
6 million. I think
Yeah,
is
6
the
million
number
people.
that I'm
I mean, if
looking
6
for.
million people showed up in the Discord tomorrow, that would probably be overwhelming for quite a few people. But
I
at the
promise
end of the
you,
day,
I would not post. If I noticed that there were 6 million people in there immediately, I'd be like, "Oh, Jim's going quiet for a while. I'm gonna let other people sort this shit out."
You would change your identity
Yeah.
if 6 million people.
Right now,
joined
it's
the
really
Discord.
funny because I'll
about
post in the Discord,
200,000?
and it's funny because I've had people tell me this over the years because they'll join the Discord and they're surprised that we actually post in there because I have a whole channel that's just me talking about what the fuck's on my mind today. People are like, "Oh my god, that's actually Jim." It's like, no, it's getting them to shut up. That's the hard part.
Yeah.
It's not that exciting.
It's really neat day one.
Yeah, you're going to find out what Jim had for lunch. He has a lot of thoughts. You're just like, oh, God, I paid money for this.
recognize that you really
terrible.
appreciate hearing from Jim right now.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, it's kind of like the advice we gave the first listener, where it's like the hunt is the thing that's
right.
exciting.
It's way more exciting than when you
And
actually.
then when you meet
have you ever heard
Jim-
the story of the lady that was obsessed with Robert Pattinson?
No.
So this girl was obsessed with Robert Pattinson. This is post Twilight. So he's the hottest thing going right now.
Yeah.
And so
Batman.
she is obsessed with him, and she's
Those round
stalking him. She camps out in front of his condo,
shit.
in New York, and he keeps seeing her every day. And she's always standing in the street. She's like, "I love you, Robert Pattinson. You're the best." And one day he sees her, and he's like, "You know what? Let's go on a date." And
like,
she's
"Fuck
like, "This is the best day of my life." Like Robert Pattinson. It turns out he's so depressed and so dreary that she doesn't want to go on a second date.
Don't meet your heroes.
So she meets with him. He totally buys her dinner and
gosh.
everything. And by the end of the day, she's just like, "This was great. Bye." And he's like,
You're not
"So
for
can I
me."
get your number?" And she's like, "No." She went out with Robert Pattinson with nothing to do with him. That's how underwhelming I think we all are in person. I think when you actually hang out with us, you're like, "Great, that was nice. I'll see you next year at Scoop Fest." Like, "Oh, we should give each other." No, we should really.
No,
I'm
it's-
good.
Yeah.
So, last question to the room here, and then we can wrap up on a positive note, but also a useful note. When people meet you, because we are coming to Scoop Fest, I know I've felt intimidated before. I still feel intimidated. I've known Matt and Paul for years. I see Jacob every single week, right? And so sometimes when I see Matt and Paul, I still go through, and maybe Nick, you probably feel this even more than I do because you've always been a fan, but I still go through this moment where my brain only knows their voices.
Sure.
So I'll hear Matt speaking several people away from me. And Matt and Paul, salt of the earth human beings. They've never, ever acted better than anybody ever. I'll hang out with them at Jacob's house. We'll be at a bonfire. It's invite only. We're all buddies. We're all equals. And yet I'll still, there in the back of my mind is this brain cell that's going, these gentlemen are famous and you're lucky to be in their presence.
That's why we invite you.
I appreciate that because I usually start with
he
that.
still
I
thinks
usually
that?
drop to one knee and I always shake hands by nodding down and looking down and bowing in an Asian way. And so always these things. So when you engage with people,
In case you thought that he wasn't being hateful with that sentence, he means when he says bowing in an Asian way that he squints his eyes before he bows.
I think I showed that.
Horribly
I showed that
racist.
with my fingers when I
Why
grabbed
we
my
can't have
face.
6
I
million
feel
This is
like
why
I
I'm going to have
indicated it.
time to run.
Yeah. You're gonna be fine. You're definitely not target number one.
I probably don't have to run.
So
I'll bet a nice brisk walk.
Yeah.
Just
You could probably just
will be
honestly
enough.
come back for your keys. You'll be fine. You're
Hey,
like,
sorry, don't mean to bother you.
Yeah,
I just forgot this.
If I could
forgot
just
something.
if I could just grab that, is that fine? Is that good? I have time,
I
right?
love my beer.
This energy drink is still half full.
Is this? I'm just gonna grab this. Also, this hot pocket has 30 seconds left. If I could just wait for
Just hang out.
So I'm curious to the room now that we've all done live events, and obviously Jacob way more than any of us combined. But what do you appreciate, or how do you like to be approached or not approached when people want to talk to you? Because I've been in their position. I've been the fan who's unsure. We're going to do a collaboration with Brian Brushwood and, God willing, Justin Robert Young during Scoopfest, I'm always still intimidated every time I hang out with them. Even though they are the most salt of the earth, genuine dudes, they absolutely just do not give a fuck about who they are or what they've accomplished. They do not care. They are just straightforward dudes at a bar, hanging out, having drinks with you. If they're on your show, they're grabbing mics, they're doing their part, they're having a great time. And I'm always intimidated, right? Like, I'm intimidated. I'm going to be intimidated when we do ICS trivia. Like, just because, even Jacob, I see every fucking week, but then when he's on the stage and he's officially doing ICS Scoopfest, I'm like, oh shit, like, this is the show. And like, I'm here, this whole audience tolerates me and they worship Jacob. Like, they're here for him. Jacob, oh shit. Jacob. And so it's very
I feel like a lot of people are just guffawing, listening to their podcast playback machines right now.
I've been intimidated. I've been that person that's intimidated, but wants to be human because I'm at the live event and I want to engage with the host who I really like.
Yeah, like be cool, be cool.
Exactly.
Is it possible that we understand who we are better than you do?
Yeah, it's very possible.
Yeah.
So I wonder, does anybody in the room have some thoughts on if you're out there and you're coming to Scoopfest or you interact with a personality on a podcast, you've heard us talk about what we're scared of, you've heard us talk about the ins and outs of this. Do we have any advice for the listener about, hey, if you ever do meet us in the wild or you meet us at a special live event, here's some advice on how to approach and how to have a conversation. And here's even our willingness to have that. Because I'm sure some people are like, oh, you probably don't want to talk to me. I'm so sorry I'm even bothering you. And it's like, no, that's literally the worst thing you could think.
Call me sir and don't look me in the eye.
Okay, good notes, good notes. Yeah. No eye contact.
Before everyone answers, I just remembered this moment when I was at Backstreet Boys concert. We're waiting in this short line to take a picture under this arch. And while we were waiting, some girl like walks by these other random people next to us, and the girl stops and looks at this couple and she goes, "Oh my God, you do that YouTube show or like channel or whatever." And the girl goes, "Oh, yeah." Like, she was very introverted, caught off guard.
Right.
The girl's like, "I love your show. Oh my gosh, I love your channel." And she's like, "Oh, thank you." And then the girl just walks off. But it seemed like she was just such a normal little human existing and was like surprised somebody recognized her. I have no clue who she was, but I was like, that is adorable. And it was so relatable in that moment where you're like, especially YouTubers, they're just usually sitting in their room with like a camera. There's no one else there, just like our podcast. We're just sitting here. And you're like, oh yeah, people like listen or watch those things or might like, know you. But
that's a good point. But like, so if you're listening and you happen to meet me at Scoopfest, please come up, say hi.
It means the world to us.
I love it.
It's and so nice.
It's also what that event is.
It's what it's about. We know what we're there for.
That is that event.
It's gotten to the point now where I look forward to going back and catching up with all the people I talked to last time.
Of course.
You know, and so it's always fun to meet up with people. But I will say I am absolutely terrible connecting names and faces together.
Repeat your name.
Please.
Repeat your name.
Everybody knows to tell me their name.
Because it's not. I will remember you eventually, but I'm terrible with names. I also am not good at recognizing faces, so that doesn't help the situation.
You're just really bad at all the things that involve talking to humans.
Yeah, please come up, say hi. Now, if you see me in public outside of Scoopfest,
still
like at an airport, make a huge fucking deal about it.
Yes, that's the best thing that could happen. Oh my God, are you late for pod therapy?
Completely.
I'll tip you if you do that.
Completely lose your shit.
Honestly.
Yes.
Especially if you do that in front of my wife and make her think I'm a big deal.
Yes.
Like, I have thought so many times of trying to get my wife to go to Scoopfest. She'll never fucking do it. She doesn't give a shit. She barely is aware of this show. Like, she is only annoyed that I go to this. And like, I try to tell her, like, oh, Scoopfest coming up. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to do a trivia battle against ICS. And she's like, I see it. Oh, is that your friend Jacob's show? Like, yeah, I know it's his show. Is it Insane Clown Posse or something? No, it's ice cream. It's
not even the same initials.
Like a feel good show. Like
I don't know why ICS would stand for Insane
Clown Posse. Not give a shit. But I have wet dreams of imagining her coming to like a show and just I've thought about what I would do if I knew she was coming to Scoopfest. I would go through the back like chats, like the Discords and the Facebook messengers.
Oh, we know.
Everybody, my wife's gonna be there. I need you all to fucking just go over the the top. I will pay you afterward. I'll buy drinks at the bar. Everybody just act like I'm a fucking big deal for a minute and just let me feel like a big shot. I just really want her to think it's important.
If I don't have 15 people around me at all times.
Yeah. I want everybody to ask for fucking
I
autographs.
feel like they would all troll Jim
Go
and just
change
ignore
clothes
him.
and come back and ask again.
It'd be
I
great.
hope that happens.
That would be the best. No, that's why I could never trust this group of fans. Because if I ever told this group of fans, hey, my wife's coming, please make me feel like a big shot, they would ruin that shit so fast. For just the glory of being the one who fucking ruined it.
I'd love you.
Yeah.
Jim will give you money
dumbest
if
thing.
you do it. I will love you forever if you don't.
If you fuck this up
That
again.
currency's
But Nick,
way.
you said something that I think is really important. Like, if you ever get to meet podcast hosts out in the wild, we are just not inherently famous, right? Like, we're doing content. We've done it for 8 years. We happen to have thousands and thousands of people who we get to be part of their week, and we're in their head, and like we get to be part of their lives, and they've developed a parasocial relationship with us. We don't get to experience that, though. Like, we never do.
Well, that's the parasocial part.
That is. And like it's so like for us, it's hard for me sometimes to think of Pod Therapy as bigger than the four of us in this room.
Sure.
Sometimes the only thing I want to do with Pod Therapy is hang out with my friends.
Which is, I think, all you can do.
That's why I
Right.
created
I think
it.
that's all anybody can do.
Yeah.
If you're making something that's going out, I genuinely don't think that people have the cognitive ability to understand it.
Yeah.
I know that I don't.
Yeah.
And I've never spoken to someone that I was like, this person gets it. This person understands precisely how many eyeballs are on them at all times.
Right.
And really is just in the flow of it.
Right.
And even people that I have been around in my career, enormous stars.
Right.
You know, hugely successful people that everyone listening to this show has heard of.
Right.
And they're just doing the same thing. We're all just doing the same
Just a
thing.
little
There's one
human.
show business, and we're all just working through, and we're all just doing that thing.
Yeah. And that's true on the macro level. And I
Yeah.
think we also truly do exist on the micro level.
Certainly.
We do not go to a bar and somebody goes, oh my God, I've heard of Pod Therapy. It's not that big of a ding.
Yeah.
So when we get, like, if you're
I
ever...
get it maybe a couple of times a month.
Oh, wow.
I get a couple of times a month of
Pod Therapy?
someone has
Yeah,
heard...
because of Pod Therapy, right?
Because of Pod Therapy.
Yeah.
No,
That's cool.
I'll get a couple of times a month. Someone has...
Do you know Best of Las Vegas, Jim Jobin?
You have to let me say the thing that happens a couple of times a month.
Yeah.
If someone says something to them about something that I do, and they go, "Oh, I've heard of that,"
Oh, yeah.
so
I see.
that's all I'm talking about. The recognized thing has happened to me a handful of times, but that doesn't happen.
So
multiple times a
it
month.
is one of the most flattering things in the world for me when at an event somebody says something nice, or if somebody messages you on Discord or messages the show and says, hey, I genuinely appreciate it, here's why. I like what y'all do. Or if I've had people at Scoopfest who pulled me aside and said, hey, Jim, and they're always really polite about it. They're like, hey, buddy, I don't want you to feel cornered. I don't want you to feel like obligated to talk to me. But I do have some thoughts. I love your show, right? I love the show. I love what you do, man. I've had people like kind of pull me aside and say, even just very endearing things of like, hey, bud, I sense a
Nice
certain
dick.
character. Yeah. I sense a character that you play on the show. I think sometimes that's for me, and I appreciate you, and here's why that was helpful for me during a hard time.
Yeah.
And like, wow, man, that means the world to me. Like, thank you so much. Because like, I'm not a celebrity, right? I'll never hear that again. And so I'm a big fan of like giving people their flowers while they can smell them.
Yeah, I like
So
that.
Just some general advice from my chair is kind of echoing Nick. Like, at our level, it means the world to hear something nice, you know, to like see, like, I'm sure I remember Whitney. I remember seeing a picture of Whitney at last year's Jacob's Whiskey Barbecue.
Okay.
And she was taking a picture with Scoopy Jess, who was wearing a Pew Pew Texas shirt.
Good.
And had a little hand
tiny
figurine
hand.
on her finger. And she was grabbing Whitney's titty.
Great.
And I remember seeing this picture, and I went to Whitney. I was like, oh my God, this looks like so much fun. And Whitney's first words were, she asked permission to grab my titty. She
Yeah.
had
Oh,
consent.
that's a
Total
really
consent.
good point
That was a
we
great
should
move.
make
Yeah,
just to everybody.
She consent.
You
asked
can't
to
just
grab
go
my
do
titty.
that.
Don't grab my titty.
Yeah.
Without permission.
Ask Whitney's permission. Our titties
She'll-
on
she
the
will
table. I think
grant.
you just assume you can grab our titties.
Her policy is a shall grant policy.
Yeah.
You do
Wait.
have to check.
Yeah. You do have to check. But I remember Whitney just being like over the moon that like
so much space.
this random chick grabbed her her
I don't even
titties
feel
and
it
was
anymore.
wearing a shirt and was she was so thrilled about it. So anyway, just my last thought on that is just it means the world to us to feel like real humans
Of course.
get something from
In
what we
all
do.
seriousness, though, I think
You should ask permission before grabbing Whitney's tit.
number one,
Specifically only
Grab
Whitney's titties.
Titneys
Yeah.
only with permission.
There's a Patreon level where you don't have to
you can
ask.
achieve permission.
Yeah. There's a
Ooh,
number.
let me think about that
it's
one.
Fine.
There's always a number.
Of course, there's a number.
all
Number
of this
exists for me
is
too.
all of this is leading up perfectly to my point.
Go ahead.
In all seriousness, you said.
Yeah, because like it's. I don't for a second think that Whitney's experience joining the show was anything compared to the three of ours.
Okay.
Agreed.
Yeah,
What do you mean?
because I have never once in the entire 7 years of doing the podcast
Almost 8.
been concerned. Well, no, 7
Pre-Whitney.
pre-Whitney
Oh, go ahead.
about anybody being rude or disrespectful or anything towards us. It wasn't until Whitney started that now I was like, oh, now I'm paying attention
Oh,
to
I
shit
That's
see.
right.
on Discord.
Yeah, then we became
Because then it's like,
protective.
because like it's a different thing, I think, for somebody to make comments about.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
there's been
completely
times
true.
where someone has said something to you, Jim,
Yeah.
and we or the moderators have come in and said, hey, I get that you're joking, but let's just dial it back a little bit.
Yeah, right.
But that happens almost never.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
And I think,
And it's not
I think
something-
most of the time that happens, it is just a
Oh, yeah.
a lack of like, oh, this didn't translate the way you thought it was going to translate.
Yeah.
That's it.
Right.
100%.
Innocent.
It's
Totally innocent.
It's always with the best intentions.
Yes.
It's just it's
It
because
just
we
didn't
joke
land
around
the way
and
you
it's
probably
some-
wanted it
yeah,
to. Yeah, like that's Nick. You bring up a really good point because, like, and this is something that other people, moderators, have talked to people in the Discord about before. They're like, "Hey, Nick, Jacob, and Whitney talk to Jim a certain way. They are literally his closest and only friends. They can do that, and like that's part of the fun of the show. That's a
And it's part of the
special
show.
chemistry
It
of the
is. It's a
show.
part of the show.
Jacob throws poker chips at his face live.
Yeah.
He got hit.
bruises
He wasn't
are real.
pretending to get hit. He got smacked in the face.
Yeah.
And they're going to get a beer afterward. It's fine.
Yeah.
But we have to be mindful that, like, he's not our punching bag. Like, that's part of the joke. Like, you're absolutely right. But, like, and I see your point there, too. When Whitney joined, I think we all felt like, all right, but everybody tread lightly here. Like, she's not, you can't do that to her. Like, she's special. She's kind of our baby. Don't fuck around with Whitney. And everybody's always been really sweet to you,
Yeah.
I think, for the most part.
I
Like,
really
nobody's
haven't
ever
had
picked
problems.
on you.
Hilarious that y'all thought that.
Jacob did not feel
so
that
funny.
way. I think Nick and I
was
did.
like,
We always felt
"Who's
the need
cinnamon?"
to protect you.
I did think about the fact that Whitney was on the show.
Yeah.
That's
you were
good.
aware
But when
vaguely.
it came to being mean to Whitney, I genuinely had the thought of like, I have to.
Yes.
Yeah, no, yeah,
I
yeah.
thought that too. I'm like,
Because
they can't
morally
not
obligated.
Be mean
If
to
I'm
me.
not mean to Whitney, then it's sexist.
sexist,
Yeah,
yes, I
yeah.
thought this.
That's true.
Yeah, like if I don't, it like Whitney's just
That's
another
why
host.
Jim calls
Yeah,
me
yeah,
a
yeah.
bitch every
Right.
other episode.
Right.
Why,
So,
that and you're being a bitch.
yeah. Well, that's
Yeah.
true too. But he just calls me.
But this goes back to the idea of why podcasts I think are so special because there is this pickup on the culture of like, okay, I know this dynamic between these four people and like I am a listener. I align with one of the hosts more. Like my personality aligns with one of those people more.
Sure.
But when I meet them in person, it is tricky sometimes because you just want to jump in because you feel like you've known them all along. And it is a little. It's like jumping onto one of those moving walkways at the airport where you feel like, oh shit, like I want to walk at this speed, but like I'm not quite at that speed. I've noticed that before where people have jumped in with me at Scoopfest with a joke that like plays off of something we were just doing
Right.
or something, and I would have totally seen that joke coming from Jacob. Yes, because I'm used to Jacob. But
Or just
I
when you're
don't
doing the
know
show.
you very well.
You're just doing the show.
Right, I'm just doing the show, and so when
Yeah.
Jacob picks up another bit that like I'm used to, I'm like, oh, yep, got it.
That's the direction
but
we're
then
going now.
somebody else
Okay.
will pick it up and be like, oh, Jim, this, that, and I'm like, oh, and like I'll stammer for a second, and I see the horror in their face. They're
Right.
like, I'm so sorry, I really like you. I'm sorry, I was
yeah.
trying to rib you because like I thought we were buddies, and I'm like. And I'm like reassuring them. like,
Everything's great.
You're fine. I'm sorry. I just don't have a mental model for
That's-
you yet.
that's just not where I was
You're
yet.
impersonating Jacob right now in an interaction, and I get why you're doing that.
Right.
Right? Like that comes from a good place.
Yeah.
But it is a unique dynamic. So
And it is like people have talked to me over the years. It's Yeah, and they just express it. And they express it very eloquently. It is, I know you very well.
Right.
You don't know who I am.
Right.
And that is a weird relationship.
Yeah.
Because like I'm in your ear holes hours and hours, like whatever it is. And like you feel like you have a sense of camaraderie with the four of us. Cool. I
do.
And honestly,
it's real.
I'm thrilled that you have that sense because that's
what we want.
we're going for. That's the goal.
Yes.
So like I'm really happy when people come to me apologetically with that. And I always say like, no, that is the thing. The thing is you're listening to this because it would be silly for me to do this without anybody listening to it. That would be real weird.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But like I am doing this thing, I know what it is. Like you're listening to it. Yeah, that's great. I want you to listen to it. I want people to listen to it. It's why we do these things. So when they come up to me, they say, "I know all these things about you." I go, "That's great." But and now tell me about you.
Right.
This is wonderful.
I'm actually interested in
because you don't have a thing that I can tell you that you're going to be interested in or don't know about me already. So let's hear it. What you got? I can't wait.
Yeah.
You're a dentist? What the fuck is being a dentist?
Tell me all
like?
about that.
Yeah.
That's amazing to me because that's just another world to me.
Right?
Like I know how to get on stage, I know how to talk to people and talk on microphones and stuff. Cool.
I do think that
I don't know
is cool
anything about that other stuff.
in Discord to hear all the different things people do, whether it's hobbies
I
or their
know.
job. I'm like, oh my gosh.
That's so cool.
Like, super cool. By the
Yeah.
way.
Oh,
So
like,
share it all.
We want to hear about people. And like for events like Scoopfest, I want to say very clearly, these are events for you.
Yeah.
These are events for you
That's
to
the
come
point.
up and talk to us and like for us to have these interactions. Like we want to do that. We want to have the events so that people can share experiences with each other and we want to be a part of that as well. You know, we want to be we want to be included in all of it. And so we want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
If you see me out in public, be cool.
Yeah.
Like come talk to me. I want to hear from you.
Announce
Yeah.
yourself. Tell us, hey, listen, I listened to one of your shows.
Oh, yeah.
Name the show so we kind of know where you're coming from.
Yep.
And then, hey, man, give us a feel because we never know if you're going to be like, I've heard your show and I fucking hate you. Like that could happen. So it's nice to hear you say, like, I've listened to your show. I really like it. Great. Okay, good. Now I know where we stand. And then we can talk, right? And be really natural. So don't be afraid to talk to people.
No,
don't
come
be
talk
afraid
to
to
us.
connect. It really means a lot. And so I'm excited for that.
And also, you're going to know instantly if it's a bad time.
Right.
You're gonna know.
That's
if you see Jim at a restaurant with his sitting around with his kids, don't bother somebody with
Don't
their
bother
kids.
them.
That's a good general rule for anyone.
No,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you're wrong.
Okay.
That's when you make a deal out of it. You're trying to impress your children. Are you not?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Sorry,
let me go ahead and speak for Jim here.
There's a correct move. There's an absolutely correct move.
100%
where you
correct.
just act like I am Brad Pitt and you walk up and go, I am so sorry. I never do this.
No.
Are you Jim from Pod Therapy?
Don't
Can I get
be
an autograph?
surprised.
Yeah.
Jim will yell at you.
He's
going to make a scene.
I'm going to
out
make
of
it seem like you've just overstepped.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm like, excuse me, peasant. I'm here with my family. But that's part of the bit.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
want you to be like, of course
He's
you are.
playing
I am
a
so
character.
sorry. Yes, exactly. That's part of the bit. And you're just like, oh my God, your family's so lovely. I'm so sorry. Can I buy your meal? Like I'll still pay for it. You don't have to actually do that. But like, just I'll be like, of course you can, Popper. You should. You've bothered me. Anyway, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're wrapping up the show. We're skipping trivia because we're way over time.
so long.
We
Who
are.
wrote about that? Oh, Anonymous, you got your money's worth today.
Yeah, you did. You're listening to Pod Therapy.
Turns out all you have to do is ask us to talk about ourselves.
Yeah, right.
And,
Good job.
yeah.
Crack the code.
Today's episode is brought to you by Smitty Scoop, Mason Miller, Tess Miller, Violer T, Paris, Team Monaco, Oscar Swanrose, Hannah Marie, Emma Kane, Myra, and Sam Cohn. And if you'd like to sponsor the show, become a therapy producer. Patreon.com/therapy.
All right. As we wrap up the show, we want to remind you can go to patreon.com/therapy and you can get our extended show and it's advertisement free a day earlier, as well as enjoy our live chat Discord community and our sporadic deep dives, interviews, skill shares, research roundups, and rants. As this episode is airing the week of Scoopfest to the general public on Thursday, to the Patreon audience on Wednesday, I have released on Monday of this week through our Patreon
The Kraken.
a link to a YouTube video that I have created which goes through a deep dive FBI report on political assassins and the psychology of them, and specifically about the Charlie Kirk shooting, and how mental health practitioners can deal with this and do better with this. So really deep dive, really hardcore science, deep stuff. That's at patreon.com/therapy. So if
And
you're
you
not
got that
already
through
a
your
member-
new connection with the FBI.
Right, ever since I've joined them, which I'm excited to be a part of. So yeah, if you are interested in this kind of stuff, and our mainstream talk today about some of the details of this kind of piqued your curiosity, patreon.com/therapy, you can hear me go on a 30-minute YouTube video with visuals deep dive. And if you've ever been like, what does Jim look like? Now you can see patreon.com/therapy. But we've got some new friends to the Theraparty, Nick. Who is new to our community?
We got a new Therapal, Bad A Emily.
Hell yeah, Emily's Bad A.
And it just clicked, like I just realized that must badass Emily.
Yeah, that's what that
Probably.
means.
Okay.
Or bad attitude.
I just now got that. Okay.
B.A. Barkus from
Or
the
bad-
A-Team was bad
Oh, yeah,
attitude
yeah,
Barkus.
yeah.
So
That's
you
right.
never know. Could be
That's
either
true.
thing.
It could stand for bad speller.
Oh, there's that. That's also... Okay.
And we have a new Theraproducer, Ellie O'Dare, upgraded.
Yay!
Thank you.
Welcome back,
New
Ellie.
Theraproducer.
We love you. That's so great to have you. And of course, we'd like to thank the benevolent, revered, generous, and flagrantly pro-therapy diehards who love you all so much they give till it hurts. The Therapartners, Dirty B and Pickett. And we'd like to thank our bosses, the mysterious and shrouded Illuminati members of the fan club, the Theraproducers. Thank you, Jake Schneider, Myra, Robert Brownie Jr. Mint, Smitty Scoop, Richard fucking Macy, Judy Schneider, Malia, Leon Kassab, Carolyn Albert, Kevin Chamberlain, Tess Miller, Dan Martin, Sammy Scoop, Slurpee Kaye, motherfucker, Ben Stanley slapping your face, Sarah Smith, Adam Hathaway, Byler T, Mike Helm, Oscar Swanrose, Paris, A Sunny Boy, Darren Cunningham, Lib, Sandra McWaffle, Team Monaco, Thunder, Cougar, Falcon Scoop, Heyo, Hannah Marie, Andrew Langmead, Emma, Tonka, and Pony Soprano, Alina, Cody the DeLorean guy, Brady Malachik, Chick-fil-A Show, Gabriel Adame, Sean Sutherland, Max, the Ginger Scoop, Chad Mag, Adam Warren, Inca LaPrince, Sam Cone, Bigay, Do Crimes, and welcoming Ellie O'Dare.
And if you would like to do this episode uncut and unedited,
Why wouldn't you?
No, get back in the closet!
and enjoy
You
our
go back in the
spontaneous
closet!
side projects, go to patreon.com/therapy.
You come out when I tell you to come out!
And thank you for supporting mental health.
That's all the time we got for this week's session. We want to thank our landlords, SJ and the Ruckus. And we'd like to thank those of you who contributed to our show today. We do appreciate it. Remember, pod therapy isn't something you should keep all to yourself. Share the episode with the world. Tag us on the socials when you do. It's at PodTherapyGuys on Instagram, Threads, and Twitter. And it's /PodTherapy on Facebook and Blue Sky. Don't forget about all the extra goodies at patreon.com/therapy.
Do you want to submit a question to the show? Ask anonymously at podtherapy.net. Email us at podtherapyguys@gmail.com or click the link in the episode description to be taken to our anonymous Google form. I'm Nick Tangeman.
I'm Whitney.
I'm Jim.
Thanks, and we'll see you for your appointment next week.
See you all at ScoopFest 2025.
99.
See you at the cone.
See you at the cone. I saw that bit and I was like, this is great. I love that we're co-opting See You at the Bowl.
Oh,
That's the best.
No, it came from a Donnelly story. It was See You at the Throne.
Oh,
It was
I
the
thought
same
you were
idea.
the-
Same idea.
Yeah,
Okay.
same idea.
Oh, that's great. All right, everybody.
but even
goodbye.
worse.
Bye.